Yes. Our worn-out boots are taking us downtown, and we're looking for some trouble, and we want to get loud. This is the glorified version of a bass fishing talk show, and I'm your host, Pat Renwick. Hello, Bass Galaxy. Welcome back. We're back. We are back. Goodness gracious, holy smokes, land sakes alive. Conquistadors and conquistadorettes, we did it. We're back. We're back, and we got a show worked up for you tonight after the hiatus. First off, I'm going to kind of go backwards here. We have our new segment we kind of introduced last time with Brucey Coop, and our new co-host on this segment, Brad Leuthner, and Into the Great Wide Opens. We got that coming back tonight. Yes, it's Into the Great Wide Bass Opens, and lots of stuff going on in the Opens, and we'll talk about that with your co-host Brad, and I'm really excited about Charlie Hartley coming back to the show tonight. Yes, Charlie, Smiling Charlie, love Charlie. Yes, Tracy too. Charlie's coming back tonight. And Oneida Opens champ, Casey Smith, Smitty, coming on the show. That is right. How am I doing, Ginge? Doing good? And your star of the evening, Bass Galaxy, give it up for old Wisco Jed. That's right, Jay Przekurat tonight. He's a champ. He's a history-making kid. He's a kid. He's won a Old Blue. He's a Century Clubber. The youngest ever to win an Elite, I think. I don't know. It's crazy. Jay's coming on the show tonight. We're stoked about that. Absolutely stoked. Do you know who else is on the show tonight that I'm really excited about? It's Andrew Ellenberger. He's a Ginger Ninja. That's you.
What's up, Pat?
That's you, Ginger.
What's up, Bass Galaxy?
Yes. Yes. And JR is on the chat board, chatting it up. Amazing job to Rock and Shoal Fantasy, JR Ewing on the chat. He's taking care of all the prizes, too. The backloggers. You know what I mean?
Yes,
all the log jams that we've been flipping. Now they're all good. They're all good up in Neal. But thanks a lot. JR is on the chat board. Make sure you talk to JR. You got anything to say, throw it his way. He'll try and get it at us. But, Ginge, what do you want to do for the like and share tonight? Like, what do you think we should do?
Ooh.
That's a good one. Now,
That's
I know, but I'm just putting you on the spot. I already know what I'm going to say. But here's the thing. This is what we're going to do. So we're doing line and lure.
Okay.
And bite me.
Okay.
Both of them.
Perfect.
Simultaneously. That's one prize. Ooh. It's called the Bite Me Line and Lure Combo Extravaganza Swag Bag. That's what it is.
It's a good swag bag.
Yeah. It ain't no Cali Reggie's. You know what I mean? We're going straight.
I'll go
it's
with
good
it.
stuff. It's good. So also besides that, Ginge, get this.
Plus?
Get this. Plus, it's a Tambien also. Yes, that's what we have. It is a bait that was not released at ICAST by Berkeley. Yes.
Oh.
Yeah, really? No, they're not. Nobody's excited about that? Wait. That's how it is. I see.
They were stunned.
Okay, they were totally stunned. Guffaw. Is guffaw a word, Ginge?
Could be.
Guffaw. But for real, it's a bait that didn't quite make it, and I happen to have a few of them, and I'm not supposed to do this, but I'm going to send a Stray Cast viewer one of them.
Wow.
Yeah, it's a plug. I'm going to send it out.
Oh, does it rattle?
Shh, no, that came out.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that one came out. This is a whole
I'm
new
excited
sneaky
for that
thing.
one.
Yeah, I can't say, because then I would totally get in trouble, but I'm going to give a viewer one, and they're going to, hopefully they'll blab about it.
All right.
Tell them I gave it. But anyway, yeah, all you got to do is like and share this live Facebook feed, and we're going to pick 2 prize winners at the end of the show. And maybe it could be you. Take it off a private, like and share the live Facebook feed, your chance to win. Okay, we're chugling. I got you, Ginge. It's been a while. I'm a little rusty.
That's
I
right.
was off a week.
You're good.
I've been doing nothing but bassing. You know what I mean? I've just been on a straight bassing binge.
As it should be.
Yeah, and hey, you got any like infomercial stuff?
Yeah.
I feel like doing infomercials, right? All right. Slices, dices, and even catches mices. Yes, this new amazing product by Ginge. If you had a company, would you call it Ginge? I would.
You'd have to, right?
I'd call it Ginge. Ginge, I've been out in the Crestliner a lot. You see, I did a video the other day. Did you see the bottom?
Yeah.
Oh my goodness gracious. They're so mad.
Looks broken.
But here's the thing. Like, go to crestlinerboats.com. You can build your own boat. Build an XF89 like we run here at Straight Cast. Build an MX19. Build an MX21. Build whatever you want to build and check it out now. The deal is, I think, my personal opinion, I fish rivers, XF189 with the combo of the Impulse Lithium Lightness, the Atlas Jack Plate, the Pro XS, and of course Power Pulse. That's a River Rambler, bud. And you gotta have a spot locker, Ginge. You gotta have a spot locker of some kind.
Nowadays.
I mean, I do, except in the super heavy current. You gotta have a spot locker. Anyway, speaking of spot lockers, how about that slobber knocker?
Ooh,
Head game strong, Ginge.
it's awesome.
For real. Like, I got a satchel right here full of slobber notchers right now. I'm not like, these are so coveted in the Bass Galaxy. This one here is the, you can't see kind of because of the glare. I'm holding it here up to the cam, but that one is the, that's the one like Christie, the color Christie was throwing in Hartwell Classic. It's the, what do you call it?
Green pumpkin shad.
Green pumpkin shad, that's right. And this is the honeycomb trailers, the stingers, man. Like, that one is sassy AF.
They move some water.
Yeah, it's nice. It's nice. That honeycomb's a deal. It's very flexible. It's very flexible, and it's good when you have a slob knocker with something flexible. You know what I mean? I agree. Hey, they're available in the fall.
Yeah.
The Berkeley slob knocker. Check them out. You can check out the
Be
Straight
ready, 'cause
Cast.
they're gonna move.
Well, yeah, we'll be smashing. We'll be smashing. Speaking of smashing, Half a Spot official. If you haven't signed up, halfaspot.com is the site. The app is on your smartphones, on the iPhone, and on the Android. Sign up now. You got a chance to go fishing anywhere in the world with Straight Cast with me. Take me. And we'll go somewhere cool, I promise. And we'll have a semi-decent time. You got to win some derbs to get there. All the stuff's on the app. Figured out, and let's go bassing. I'm moving it right along, Ginge. You see how I do this? You know what they say, Ginge? Wine is fine, but whiskey's quicker. You know what I mean? Wine is fine, but whiskey's quicker. I'll take your whiskey to the Tin Cup Whiskey official proud liquor of Straight Cast in the Bass Galaxy. Yes. Wow. Luke, you got your mouth full.
On?
Luke Foley's eating calamari right now. Luke, it's Luke. Let Bass Galaxy give it up for the whiskey gypsy, Luke Foley. And Courtney. What's up, Court?
Hello, how are you today?
The king and queen of the whiskey division of alcohol, tobacco, and firearms of the Bass Galaxy. Whatever the hell that means.
Hell yeah.
Yes.
I'm doing great today. We're here in French Lick, getting ready to walk into a nice restaurant.
I love it. You know, one of my favorite people is from French Lick.
Who is that?
Larry Bird. Old Larry Bird.
Oh, that's true.
Yeah,
True.
from French
Old
Lick,
33.
Indy. Yeah, he's old Larry's a hell of a baller. You know what I mean? Just like Luke Foley.
Yeah.
Just like old Foles, the whiskey gypsy.
Well.
You know what I mean? I just Beavis and Buttheaded. So what's up,
You did.
Foles?
Absolutely.
We were off last week, Foles and Courts, and
Yeah.
now we're back.
I went to New York.
Yep.
I saw the Johnson brothers and company
Yeah.
land all those giant smallmouth.
Dude,
So
amazing.
Matt almost made the cut to Sunday. We were hoping for that, but Dion went up with me. And
I saw
we
Dion
worked
there.
the booth. We had a good time. And
He looks
just
good.
watched 20-pound bag after 20-pound bag get weighed in. Yeah, Dion's doing good. He's doing good.
No, he looks good.
So,
Dion looks
yeah.
good too. He looks like
Yeah.
a legend. You know, when I seen him,
His
Yeah.
post.
I'm like,
Yeah.
that's a legend right there. That guy's a legend.
Yeah.
If you
Yeah.
don't
He's
follow,
got
go ahead, Foles.
he's got some he's working with some people. I can't say too much about it, but some of the secret jig heads that Guido made many years ago, which is better than. No, I'm telling you, it's coming.
Hold on a second.
It's coming. It's coming.
No way.
Yeah.
Wait a second.
Yeah.
So better than those customs that I try and steal from your boat, and then you slap my hand like the nuns used to when I was in school.
Well, they're along those lines. They have some really neat stuff coming, and some good people that they're working with, and it's going to be. I mean, maybe we should have them on, and you should talk about it when everything's ready. But they're getting really close to introducing them, and I think it's going to be something that's going to be really cool. So.
I like it. I mean, I just like the sound of it right there. We'll get into all that later. But you were in New York, over in New York, Sizzle Chest, and you had a good time, didn't you? You had a good time in New York.
Yeah, had a good time.
Did you go to New York, Court?
She didn't.
No, I worked on Friday so that I could come this week here.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Got to make sacrifices.
Gym Tan Laundry. That's all Foley's about. Gym Tan Laundry.
Yeah. Hanging out on the Jersey Shore.
Doing the GTL.
Hey, man. Again,
I was home doing the GTL. He was on the road.
I get it. Hey, but Tin Cup Whiskey, big time over in New York at St. Larry's, and hell of an event. You had the what do you call that? There's a special word for it in the biz. Activation.
Activation.
You had
a hell of an activation.
What are you doing, Foley?
Yeah.
I have an activation in New York. I'm like, what the hell is that? He's like, well, I'm setting up a booth at the Bassmaster. Well, why don't you just say that?
Yeah.
It took me a minute to realize.
We did the casted mat. People tried Tin Cup. They tried the llama lemonade.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody in New York loved it.
How's sales of whiskey right now in the Bass
It's
Galaxy?
good.
Straight up.
It's
Is it good? Is
Everything,
it
good? Yeah, we're doing good.
You throwing out some brown liquor? You throwing it out, Foles?
Yeah, I'm throwing it out. Depletions are depletions.
I like it. I like it. It's withstanding the economy, and that's something that always seems to happen.
Yeah.
No matter what, all kidding aside. Hey, but that being said, every week here on Straycast, see how I missed you guys. I started to babble, but every week here on Straycast, we have a Tin Cup Whiskey word of the week. And that word, every time you hear it, you take a sip. You can take a sip of whatever you want. It could be Cafe Con Leche. It can be Aquafina. Or it could be a fine brown liqueur like Tin Cup Whiskey. And whatever you drink, please drink responsibly. Foley, what's the word? What's the word today?
Well,
somebody fell in.
After what happened this past weekend,
that wasn't responsible.
We got to go. We got to go with smallmouth.
Smallmouth. Okay. Yeah. Wow. And so any variation of smallmouth, then small jaw,
brown fish,
small jabber, brown fish, red-eye demon, any of that stuff. You take a sip, and you sip responsibly. There it is.
Yep.
It's Tin Cup Whiskey, the official brown liquor of Bassin. Really, Foles, I got to be honest with you. It's the only brown liquor of Bassin. It's the only dang brown liquor of Bassin. We dominate the field.
We do.
We dominate the dang field.
Thanks,
you got Christine Fisher. You got the Hibdens. You got the Fighter.
Yep.
You got the Robertson. You got the Straycast.
Yeah.
You got the Ike Lives. Dominating the field. And, of course, you have Courtney and the Whiskey Gypsy and the multifaceted Tin Cup Mountain Whiskey Gang. Thank you so much to you guys. Thank you so much. I'll tell you, Bass Fishing Talk Show right there. Looks like you're in the Taj Mahal or Scarface's
we're in a pretty
foyer.
Nice place. We're in a casino.
They're standing around like it's.
Yeah.
Is Tony Montango over there? It looks like Tony Montango. Does he live there?
We're meeting for a drink later.
All kidding aside, we would be amiss if we did not stop before we went to the break here and remember the man who invented something that is very fond to Luke Foley, to myself, and to many out there in the Bass Galaxy. That's flipping. And we lost D. Thomas. And D just, D brought us so much happiness. And and he brought smiles to many in a technique that changed so many things, so many lives, and the way so many people compete. With that being said, let's put the power poles down and let's try and remember D. Thomas, and and later on check it out. Read some about the guy if you don't know too much. He's awesome. Hey, put those power poles down. We're coming back, Jay Przekurat, when we get here, back over by there at the Straight Cash Show in Chicago. You know what I mean? Put them down. Power poles.
Bye, everyone.
Bye, guys.
Peace. Love you.
Things you let me see.
This is the mountain, and this is mountain whiskey. Unspoiled, untamed, forever wild. There's no safety net, no way down. Up here, it's just man, and the mountain, and his tin cup. Tin Cup Whiskey. Mountain whiskey.
Want to know the difference between power bait and other soft plastics? Ask the fish. Berkeley scientists have. Thousands of flavors tested on thousands of fish. Natural. Man-made. Every bait that's ever hit the water. No matter the shape, size, or color, power bait is the only one that is scientifically proven. Fish bite and will not let go.
Nice, dude.
Yeah, buddy.
The TH Marine HydroWave H2 KVD Edition is a surefire way to ignite a feeding frenzy. The HydroWave utilizes a sound-emitting technology that imitates bait fish and other feeding fish below the surface that preys on the competitive nature of bass and other game fish to get you more bites. The HydroWave is another way that TH Marine has you covered from transom to trolling motor.
Yes. Welcome back. Welcome back. This is the glorified version of a bass fishing talk show. I'm your host, Pat Renwick, and I want to remind everybody, like and share the live Facebook feed for your chance to win a KVD line and lure pack and a Bite Me Tackle Get the Lead Out pack, plus a special bait they didn't release at ICAST from Berkeley. Now, ladies and gentlemen, let's do this. Yes. Yes. I like it. I like it, Ginger Ninja. Once every star moon in the Bass Galaxy comes the Star Child. History is made. Century clubs. Victories go hand in hand. With that being said, Bass Galaxy, we bring to you the history maker himself. Give it up for old Wisco Jed. Here he is. Right there. Look at you. Look at you, Smiling Jay. Wow.
Oh,
You look like a
What's
champion. Hi, how you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm really good, in case you can't tell. I mean, but I'm not as good as you. I'm not as good as you, champ. Wow.
Oh man, it's been a crazy last 5 days.
You don't even know. I mean, like, you don't even know. You had to think a minute. Like, it's been
pretty
it's been a
much.
crazy last so many days. Yeah, I mean, it's all got to be flooding you. And of course, you're at ICAST right now, and I'm sure you're just being plummeted. Is that a word?
Yeah, yeah, that's a good word for it.
It's a good thing.
Pretty unbelievable. Oh yeah,
Yeah.
it's a great thing. Yeah, it's ICAST this is my first time. This is my first time ever to ICAST. Yeah, and just to have this many people like even congratulating me, it's like I know like basically none of. I mean, I know a few people, but I'm meeting so many new people, and there's so many fans out there that I never knew I had. And
Exactly.
yeah, it's crazy.
So many people know you. They knew you. Now they really know you. And the goal of this show today is gonna be for people to really, really get to know you today.
Yeah,
But I mean, the fact of the matter is, man, you did something amazing. First off the bat, you and Corey both 100 pounds plus of smallmouth. Smallmouth. What? That's dumb.
Yeah,
That's
that's-
stupid, Jay. Come on. You know?
pretty much.
Like, have you ever been floating around Sturgeon Bay for 4 days and caught a hundo? Like, I mean, really? I mean, maybe you have, but like, that's still pretty special.
Right. Yeah, and then to do it in a time period that we're in now, like post spawn,
Right.
and like all that. It's different if they're at their biggest point, but right now they're supposed to be at their smallest point too.
All
which-
skin dogs, yeah. They weren't,
Yeah.
were they? They're like,
No, they weren't.
They were pans, bud. They were pans.
yeah.
Frying pans. Yeah, man. I mean, but so you're the youngest. I was told this. I didn't document this, but I was told by Ronnie Moore's voice in my head that you are the youngest angler to ever win an Elite Series. Is that correct?
That's what I'm told. Apparently, I have Casey Ashley beat by a few months.
Wow.
Is what I'm told.
Oh, well, take that, right? You're going to take that.
Yeah, I'll definitely take that.
Okay. I mean, and of course, a victory, Old Blue, in your rookie year. Wow.
Yeah. Wow.
What the heck, dude? That's, I mean, it's got to give you chills. It's got to.
Oh, it does. Yeah, it did. It does, and it did, and it still does, and it forever will. Yeah.
Yeah, bro, you're smashing Ray Scott's dream, like what he wanted for all anglers. You are accomplishing all of that coming from the Opens.
Right.
You know, kicking
Yeah.
ass as a rookie, cashing checks. I mean, You're doing it, bud. That's pretty special. It doesn't happen all that often. Just so you're aware.
No.
Yeah.
I'm aware.
Yeah, good.
I'm very aware.
Yeah. I mean, you've been, you're no stranger to victory. I think you hold the record for victories as a co in the Opens back of a boat. I don't know if that's the truth that you hold the record, but I know you got a couple under your century belt now. Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Are you wearing it right now? Do you have the century belt on?
No, I haven't seen it yet. I don't know. Production, I guess, is holding up or something. They said they might
Ronnie
have it
has
for
it.
ICAST.
It's Ronnie.
Does he?
Does Ronnie have it when you? Ronnie's got it. Ronnie just walks around with it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He must be wearing it.
I'm sure he is. I'd wash it when you get it. Well, that's all right, man. You're doing amazing. And where's Old Blue? You got Old Blue? Where's the trophy?
Old Blue is sitting in Wisconsin in a garage right now.
Okay.
I had to jump on a plane to get down.
Wait a minute. I don't know. Like, I've been in a lot of garages in the Midwest, like hanging out and having a time. You know what I mean? And I have been to Wisconsin garages, and I'm not feeling comfortable with what you just said. I'm going to be honest with you. Like,
no, I think we're good.
Okay, are you sure? Are you sure? Because things get wild in Wisconsin.
I'm like 92% sure it's okay.
How many podcasts and interviews have you done since you've won in this past
quite a few.
Yeah,
quite a few.
Yeah,
probably.
you've been going over like in depth. You've been going over in depth your victory and all that stuff.
Right, the whole deets of everything and the baits and the spots and how they set up and
I get it. I'm not gonna put you through all that. And like I would like people to go like look at things like Kumar, the blaster, like something like that. Or of course Bassmaster.com with all the deets, the fine details. But what I am really intrigued about on this victory here on the old St. Larry in New York, is your spots. Both of the spots. Okay? Like, dude, they're very unique and subtle. Would you agree with those two descriptive words? Unique and subtle.
Yeah, those are perfect words to describe them, for sure.
And like that is, let's be real, on the Great Lakes, that's kind of a needle in a haystack, bud. That's pretty cool.
That's very rare. Very rare to find one spot like that, let alone two, that you don't even have boat pressure around you for majority of the entire tournament. I mean, almost impossible sometimes.
Like, you have Canadians that want to you ever see like in Rambo where he comes up behind him and he goes
oh yeah,
yeah, they're after you, bud. I mean, and that spot's amazing, and you're an amazing angler. And like, tell us about it. Tell us about it. How did you come about that spot? How did you do it?
So the main juice hole that I found that spot on the second day of practice. At the end of the day, it was like late afternoon, and that entire day, actually, it blew so hard in practice on that spot. There was 5, 6, 7 foot waves crashing in on the spot.
Oh, wow.
For the entire day. And at 4 o'clock, it finally laid down enough where it was,
hey, Jay, sorry to interrupt, but you said the second day. That's a Monday.
That would be in Monday. Yeah.
Monday. Okay. Is this the derb's going to start Thursday? Okay. I just wanted to get it in my head. 5 footers crashing on the spot Monday.
Yep. So I rolled over the spot at about 4 o'clock and I side imaged it, and I saw bait everywhere and big boulders. And, at the time it was super hard to fish because I could hardly even hold on the trolling motor and I was just going all over the place. But the one thing I saw when I was there was a pile of fish. And I mean, they were from 5 feet under the surface all the way down to like 19 feet.
A pile of them. Yeah, bud. Yeah.
I'm like, there's no way these are bass. They got to be mixed in like maybe sheephead or carp or something. So as soon as the weather laid down just enough at 4 or 5 o'clock, it laid down to like 2 footers, and I ran back to the area, and I got set up with the trolling motor, and I took one cast into the school, and about 20 to 25 smallies ran down at my drop shot at the same time.
Oh my
and
goodness.
I had a 5.5 pounder on before my bait even hit the water.
Were you just laughing out loud? Were you LOLing
Yeah,
the whole time?
pretty much. And then I was like, okay, I've seen this before. Maybe like it's just one big one and then the rest of them are small. So I got back up on the trolling motor and I took one more cast. I caught a 6-pounder the next cast.
Oh,
and I was like, all right, one more cast. So I threw back in there one more time and I caught a 4.5. And I was like, all right, I think this is good. I think I'm going to start here in the tournament.
Yeah. Yeah. Amazing. I mean,
yeah.
And then just the fact that like the weather laid down for you during the dirt and you were able to capitalize. But I mean, really the pile of fish obviously clued you in, but like, what was it? Like, what was so you went to this area, like it's all, you're just idling, cruising, and What were you following? Your map, and it was like, this is kind of like a textbooky thing, but you expanded on it. What was it?
It was kind of a Great Lakes deal, so it was at a mouth of a bay, basically, that they spawn in, and at the mouth of the bay, there's 2 main lake points on each side. And obviously those are going to be your community holes. I mean, everybody's going to fish the main lake points. There's always boulders on them, things like that.
Sure.
But on the inside turn of this main lake point, it was such a subtle bump out of rocks. I mean, you could hardly even see it on your map. The only way I found it was idling through it. And the bump out was maybe, 30 yards. And it was 30 yards of great big boulders that came out to like 18 feet of water. And on that bump out is where all that bait was, where all those fish were. And I think they were just making their way out to that 30, 40 foot zone.
You're smart.
Where they were going to end up being on the main lake. But yeah, for whatever reason, they were there, and they decided they were not going to leave for a long time.
Is it getting pillaged right now, do you think? I mean, did people go pillage it? Uh-oh, Jay's frozen.
I'm sure.
There he is.
5 spectators on me.
Yeah, so people went out there and capitalized, like Fighter Spot on St. Lawrence.
Yeah. Definitely.
Yeah, dude, pretty special. Let's break it down. Jay, separating the men from the boys, and you're still kind of a boy. No disrespect, but I mean, here's the fact: a lot of people can catch fish. Like a lot of anglers can catch fish. A lot of anglers are great mechanically. A lot of anglers are great theoretically. But what you did, what your separation was, is you were a fish finder. You used your knowledge from your limited time, and you found a little manna, a little milk and honey. You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that was a special spot.
Yeah. I mean, and that's what does it, dude. So, like, no matter anything, always keep that in your head. Like, holy cow, I have that ability in me. And I did it the first year of the elites. All right? Let it sink. Let it sink. Bass Galaxy, give it up for this guy. Give it up for Wisco Jed. It's the dude. Right there. You're a derber, bud. We know about you. You're sitting good right now. What are you like? High 20s?
I think I'm 20th, yeah.
Okay, 20. All right, sorry. I went high 20s. Sorry. No, I mean, but you're doing good. You're doing good, man. I mean, and let's face it. We were looking over your stats. I know Ginge was on this earlier when he was probing Ronnie. And I saw here, you've been in 21 BASS derps. Does that sound right?
Yeah, that sounds right. I fished some regionals and a lot of co-angler tournaments.
Okay. And in the money 14 times. It's a good average, Jay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, you can do better, right? You're a champion now.
Right.
Now you're a champion. Now all the weight's on your shoulders. Now it gets tough.
Yeah.
Now it gets tough, Jay. Get ready. Your dad's a champion, too. We'll talk more about that later. He knows. He'll tell you. Now the weight comes. Now the weight on the shoulders comes. But here's the deal. Like in your short time, 14 out of 21 derbs you cashed. That's pretty cool. It's really good. Now, Ginge, hit him with the facts. Hit him with the big facts. Now, check this out. Jay, out of all the derbs, all right, Ginge is computing.
Yep. Ready?
577 pounds.
Yep.
Right, Ginge?
That's correct.
You've caught 577 pounds of bass, Jay. In your short time. That's a lot of bass.
That's a lot of bass.
577 pounds. Okay. And you have won $193,733. Ginge, hit him with the raw facts now.
So per pound, your dollar amount is $335.75.
A pound.
A pound.
Jay.
A pound.
That's insane. Tell your dad. Bassin pays the bucks. $331 in LB. It's a lot, bud. You know what I mean?
That is a lot.
Yeah, that's good. That's good. So every time you lose a fish, like if you lose a 3-pounder, it's $1,000.
Oh, yeah.
It's $1,000. No pressure. I mean, no pressure. It's $1,000. It just went down the drain. I don't know. It's pretty good, dude. It's pretty good. You happy with all that?
I'm happy with that, yeah.
102.9. 102.9. 102.9.
Yeah, that was... That I still don't really know how that all happened, to be honest, because I lost. So I lost just as many big ones as I feel like I caught, and then I feel like I just couldn't do anything wrong. And it just,
you had that feeling, didn't you? You had that feeling.
The feeling was there.
It's the 102.9. 102.9, all the hits. Jay Przekurat, all the hits. 102.9. Hey, you should like put on 102.9 whenever you're traveling across the country. Put on 102.9 and see what happens.
I have to remember that now.
Sing along. Whatever's on, sing along. Sing it loud, Jay. Sing it loud. Yeah, whatever's on. It doesn't matter. Even if it's Spanish, learn Spanish. Yes, I want you to do that. Please do it and send me a video of it. 102.9.
Okay.
Wisco Jet, all the hits, all the time. Hey, whenever, so pretty much that's your derby in a nutshell, right? I mean, see, that was painless, right? That was good. You've been talking about derbs a lot, and we're going to really get to know you. Are you okay with this?
Oh, boy.
Yeah.
I think so.
Yeah. Saddle up the Palomino, kid. It's a cold bowl of chili when love lets you down. You know what I mean? If you can't cut it, don't pick up the knife on straight casts. We're going to have fun right now. But my job is hard sometimes. I mean, as dumb as that just sounded. All right?
Is it?
Yeah, it really is. Bass and talk showing ain't easy sometimes.
No.
Yeah.
I can imagine.
But here's the thing, like, there's a cool thing called the Google machine, right? And a lot of times I can Google stuff up about people and learn. But, like, this is how I learned about you. I Googled you. And here's what comes up. You ready?
I'm ready.
You ready? This is it. How old is Jay Przekurat? That's it. That's the only thing. Like, that's all that comes up. Those are the only kind of questions. That's it. So I have to invent things. And this is going to be tougher for me. But it could be fun for both of us and the whole Bass Galaxy. Are you ready to do this?
I'm ready.
All right, so in the 80s, we had a thing that we did, like in the 80s and 90s. It's called speed dating. You might have seen it on some Office episodes or Parks and Rec. You know what I mean? So, like, you'd go to the mall, and usually I got lucky, I'm going to be honest, when I did speed dating. But this is the Bass Galaxy's chance to get lucky with you, because they're going to get lucky and learn all about you in this Stray Cast speed dating. Learn all about Wisco Jet edition. Okay? Are you ready?
I'm ready.
Are you in a good mood, Jay?
Oh, yeah.
Are you tired?
Yeah, tired. A little bit hungry. Excited.
All that. A lot of energy. A lot of all kinds of energy.
Yeah.
All right. Let's do this. Are you ready, Ginge? You ready back there? Oh, yeah. It's time to play. Get to know Jay. Are you ready to play, Jay? We're poets and we don't even know it. Jay, the first question is going to be amazingly simple, but I need you to think. Why do you bass fish? Why do you bass fish, Jay? Why not walleyes or something?
Why not
Or
walleyes?
muskies like Pete Mena? Other Wisconsin guys? Are your
I
walleyes like your
bass.
pa?
I
Why
hate
bass?
walleye fishing. I can't do it.
Those old marble eyes.
I bass fish because I like catching big largemouths and big smallmouths. Basically anywhere, yeah.
Like another just really, but this is going to kind of tell us about you. Like, what do you think about a big old bucket that just hangs out in the alley, like a big old green mean fish compared to a brown marauder that cruises the seven seas? How do those compare to each other?
Yeah, like a big brown one. He's a lot dumber.
Oh yeah.
He's gonna, he'll bite a lot easier. You could probably cast at him and see him, and he'll probably bite. And then the 8-pound largemouth, he's probably been caught like 3 or 4 times. He's hanging out on Pickwick, and he's on a ledge probably, and he's seen about the 8th spoon that's went past his head.
Yeah.
And then he finally gets snagged in the side, and then he's all
being all
pissed off
fickle.
because he's
all
coming
fickle.
back to the ramp again.
Yeah. Yeah. He's like, damn it, another picnic. There he goes. Off to the picnics again. To the big show. Going to the house.
That's about the difference.
Oh, my God. Hey, when did you figure out you were good at bass fishing? Like, you remember you're like, damn, I'm pretty good at this.
No, I don't consider myself that good.
All right,
but,
well, you are, though, okay? I appreciate the humility, and believe me, that's very crucial today in bass fishing in this world of self-gratification and social media, so I appreciate it. But when did you realize that you were good, Jay?
Probably when I had the chance to qualify for the elites in the last tournament, and I was like, damn, I could actually qualify for the elites. And it was at Grand Lake for the last Bassmaster Open. I was like, yeah, I better get my shit together and probably catch some fish in this tournament.
I like it. So it really kind of just clicked, man, like when it happened.
Yeah, like it wasn't a reality at all at the beginning. I mean, the beginning of the year, I just wanted to cash checks and hopefully compete, stay in the top 40. And then next thing you know, I'm in second place in points. And I'm like, holy. I was like, yeah, okay.
I gotcha. So it's kind of sink in. And then you just happen to win a derb and get a century belt and be the youngest guy ever to win a derb. And all that falls into place. All right. The here nor there. What would your job be? Like if you weren't a bassing man, like what would you be doing in Wisconsin? What's going on over there?
Man.
Like what's the trade?
Well, I worked at an auto shop for a while.
What are you doing?
And he still sponsors me as a mechanic. I worked there.
Oh, nice.
And then I was doing that for a while, and then I went to tech school, college, and then I studied marketing there.
Wow, you're smart. You're
but
smart.
this whole like opens deal and qualifying just like all happened so fast, and I jumped on the opportunity, and here I am.
And it happened. And you got good teeth. I think that's important in bass fishing these days. Very marketable. Good teeth. You know what I mean?
Thanks.
For real. You got good poofs. Because otherwise, I mean, it's like in the bag in the old days. Like, no disrespect, but you just got a bunch of backer spitting. You know what I mean? Oh, brown. Like mine. But I mean, no, it's good, dude. You got good toofs. It's important. It's important. Tell me about high school and college. Or did you do you did some trade school, some tech school. Tell me about high school. Were you a quiet guy? Were you outgoing? Did you play sports? What'd you do? Were you good with the gals? What was it like?
I was a quiet guy. I wasn't good with the goals. No. I got a girlfriend now, though. So
good for you. Congratulations.
Thanks.
Well, you better.
Thank you.
Gosh dang, you're swinging a century club. Girls love that. I mean, come on. Let's be real.
No, I was a quiet guy in high school. I played baseball. Not really outgoing at all. I quit baseball because it got in the way of fishing.
What'd you play in?
And
What was
then,
your what position in baseball? What did you play?
I was shortstop.
Okay, nice. Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Nice. Yeah, but yeah, after high school and that whole deal. Oh, I did. We did start a high school fishing team for like 2 years when I was there. And
Did it have a name? Did it have like a cool name? Like,
yeah, it was
like
a Smash
Hellcats.
Bass team.
What was it?
Spash Bass team.
The Smash?
Spash.
Spash?
Yeah.
Are you
it's
saying
like what
Pam or Pan?
Spash.
Okay. Spell it. Spell the word. Seriously, I don't know what you're saying.
SPASH.
What is a spash? Is that like you're at school?
Yeah, Stevens Point area, senior high.
Spash senior high.
Yeah.
I love it. Spash. Spash is a funny word. You know that, right?
That was cool.
Yeah, it is cool. All right, so the Spash Bass team. How'd that do? How'd that go for you?
Yeah, it was good. We fished. I mean, I only got to fish like 3 or 4 tournaments just because we were so far away from so much of the high school scene at that point in time. Because that was back in like 2016, 17. So right before I graduated in 17. But yeah, after that, I didn't fish college. I went to a tech school. And then I jumped into the Opens as a co-angler for 2 years. And then I fished as a boater last year. And then I qualified this year for the elites. So yeah, it's been pretty quick.
Yeah, boom. Look at this.
Yeah.
Look what happened.
Much.
Kazam Kapow. Size of an elite. Right there. So, like, besides bass fishing, all right, in your life, what is your passions? Like, what do you do? What do you do?
It's basically 2 things. Well, no, like 3. It would be hanging out with the girlfriend, hanging out with the family, and then bass fishing.
Okay.
And then I do some deer hunting.
Gotcha.
But the last couple of years have been just like I've had so many tournaments in the fall, and I just haven't really had the opportunity to get out there at the good time. So, yeah, it's basically like 4 things, and then yeah,
I like it. And then like so, deer hunting. You're like you do that often every year. You miss years. You're on it. What's your deal?
miss years. Yeah, I've missed the last couple of years, and then like 2 years prior to that I did it pretty hard, and then I'm sure at some point I'll be getting back into it once the falls are off. But the problem is the fishing's so good in October and November by us, and I want to get as much in as I can before the ice comes.
And you especially want to get to Sturgeon Bay and do all that stuff, and I'm sure the Wisconsin River is amazing in the fall.
Yeah.
This is speed dating. This is speed dating, right? This is just, I mean, you don't even, it's nothing, right? This is easy.
Right.
Yeah, it's like we're at the mall, right? It's hanging at the mall. Oh, there it is. There's speed dating again. So, hey, like, so, as, you know, I was going to say as a kid, but like, okay, in high school, you know, in the early years of Jay, like, tell me about your formative bass fishing years. Like, who did you used to pretend to be on the water?
Oh,
like,
I felt like in my early.
Doesn't that sound odd? I felt weird saying that too.
I felt like I was like a terrible fisherman. I don't know. It just everything like I felt like I gained like so much knowledge from the point like where I could actually start driving a boat. But like when I was like super young, I was a big time bank fisherman. Like I'd go to the same bank spot below this dam on the river like
nice
every day that I could, and like anything I caught. I mean, catfish, walleyes,
just milking
like, it didn't matter. My favorite species for like the longest time was like northern pike, and
really
now I like despise them.
Oh, me too. Yeah. I mean, a giant one's fun, but a lot of those.
Yeah, right.
But those other yikes! I get what you're saying, man. You know. So, who did you used to pretend to be when you were a boy fishing? Like, let's say you just got your first boat. When was that? When did you get your first bassin boat?
I was 18.
Okay, 18, and you're out there by yourself, Jay. You're out there chunking and winding, like, you know, didn't you pretend you were like a pro? Wasn't there like a pro you would emulate in your mind, you know?
Yeah.
Like, who was that?
I looked up to like Brandon Palaniuk quite a bit at the time.
Gotcha.
Because he was like, at that point, like that was when he was like coming up, like big time, like younger guy. And I looked up to him quite a bit. That's what I can remember the most, because I remember him following him around one time. It was actually a tournament on Sturgeon Bay, and I was with my dad, and we were following around Palaniuk, and he was 23 the time that I'm 23 right now.
Wow.
So it was kind of weird. Yeah.
Yeah, the new prodigy. You could be. Yeah.
We'll see about that.
Hey, you're doing all right. You're on the right track. So you don't like that shining for eyes thing. You don't ever go night fishing for walleyes either. Your dad never drags you out there.
I do it on the river occasionally, like when we have like league tournaments, when we got to bring in like 3 bass, 3 walleyes. But yeah, I don't know. No. No.
I know. Hey, but your dad's very successful at it. I mean,
Yes.
I mean, he kicked ass in FLW. I think he's got a couple AO. I remember watching him on TV, man. Like, because sometimes it'd be the bass stuff one weekend, and then they'd have the walleye derbs the next weekend, and I'd be like, "Gosh dang it, it's the walleye derbs, son of a gun!" But then I'd still watch him because it was fishing. You know what I mean?
Right,
and I remember your dad doing good, man.
Yeah.
Couple AOYs, couple hundred G's in his pocket. You know what I mean? Did that give
he's
you?
still good.
I'm sure. Yeah. Did that give you kind of a direction? Like maybe.
That.
Go ahead, bud.
That showed me like the highs and lows. Obviously, a lot more lows. So it was like, I knew what I was getting myself into at first, but seeing the highs is what, like, I knew I had to do it pretty much, or is what I wanted to do. Either way, whatever happened, like I was going to try and make it happen.
And there it is.
Yeah.
And there it is. Hey, like, let's say that you had to just like spend the rest of your days. You've retired as a successful bass fisherman, and the rest of your days were going to be spent. Would it be on the river or would it be on the big pond?
It'd be on the big pond.
Be on the big pond, huh?
Yeah, I think so. A big pond surrounded by small, nice little unpressured lakes.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah.
So you're more of a big lake guy than a river rat.
I go back and forth. My true roots are rivers, but if I had to fish for fun, it would have to be the big lake.
Be the big pond, man. So with that being said, now that you're a big time bass champion, they're gonna call on you for things. They're gonna call on you. They did it to your dad in the walleye deal. Now they're gonna do it to you. They're gonna be like, Jay, we need a photo shoot, and you got to give us 4-pounders. We need 4-pounders, and you better be ready to take us. And then you got to guide 6 people. We're gonna bring 6 people with us too, and they all got to catch fish. So that's all gonna happen. Just letting you know. So with that being said, like, do you have a sneak spot? Do you got like a spot where you can go every time and jack a 20-pound satchel, a 25-pound satchel? I mean, like, do you got that spot? Do you got a sneak? In Wisconsin?
I got some,
around the house?
I got some sneaky spots.
Around the house?
Yeah, around the house, man. It's tough. Them guys are good around there. There ain't no secrets anymore. I'm telling the people we have around central Wisconsin, some of the best bass fishermen in the entire Midwest, hands down.
Yeah, I mean you got
have
some mallets, bro. Hammers does not exist. That's not a word in bass fishing anymore. Mallets. Mallets. And you're Stevens Point, right?
Yeah.
Stevens Point?
Yeah.
Area? Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, a long time ago in a bass galaxy far away, Jay, I used to work for a company in Stevens Point called Sportsman's Supply or something or whatever. They were a Sportsman's Warehouse type distributor for tackle. Hated it.
Mm-hmm.
I travel everywhere, and all I did was just fish. I didn't even just went fish. But anyway, yeah, I'm sorry, I was mumbling, Ginge. That's me. Mumbling about stuff. Well, I'm glad you got a sneak spot, dude. You're gonna need it for real. Because get ready.
Yeah.
Get ready. You guys that win blue trophies and all that kind of stuff. ROYs, AOYs, BMCs, Big Blues. They call on you. You're getting called on. They're gonna Strike King's gonna call you up. Mr. Lou, he's gonna be like, hey, we're coming to the pond. This is Lou. This is Mr. Lou. Get ready. I need force. I need big buckets, and I need big brown fish coming to the pond. So, like, what's your favorite band, bud? Like, what are you into? What's your music?
Oh man, country.
Okay.
I mix it up quite a bit.
Country and western.
Like if
you mix it up.
No, like if I want to get like more jacked up, well, it depends.
I like you said jacked up. Talk to me. What's the jacked up J music? What's Wisco Jet jacked up music? Tell me, Smiling
It's like
Jay.
a mix between country, like rap.
Oh, you get wild.
A little bit of both.
You get wild,
Yeah, a little
don't
bit.
you, kid? Don't you?
No,
Yeah.
not really.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. The Bass Boys in the hood playing hard, aren't you? You know how it is. That's hip hop. That's what you call that. Getting to it. That's right. You're a Yankee listening to that. I like it. I like it. What about movies? What are you into? What's your movie? What's your deal? Like, you like movies. You got
Movie.
it. Yeah.
I haven't watched a movie in like a long time.
Really?
I
Nothing?
can't even think of one.
So you're not a movie buff?
Yeah, no.
Like TV shows or even fishing shows? Like, what do you watch when you're on?
Mark Zona's show is the best.
Yeah, Zona's amazing.
Yeah. Mark Zona's show, TV. Yeah, I'm just not a big TV guy either. I'm more of like I'm pretty much on the YouTube deal. Like if there's like a good video I want to watch, or like somebody put out a good fishing video, like that's what I'm going to be watching. Not like TV.
Give me something that piques your interest as an Elite Series angler. Something that would be appealing to you on the YouTube or on Instagram or Facebook. Like something you want to see as a pro.
Like Pollinix videos, like his tournaments.
Yeah.
Stuff like that. And then like just a bunch of like randoms, like I'll look up just people that just fishing things, anything fishing related. Anytime I can try and like learn something from somebody that just throws out a video, like that's what I'm looking for pretty much.
You're going to Oahe, right? Am I saying it right? Oahe?
Yep.
Oahu, Wahihiho. Did you Google that? I mean, do you watch YouTube videos on it? Is that something an Elite Series angler does?
For sure. 100%. I do it at every tournament, it's public information. We can get as much public information as we want.
Oh, absolutely.
It's such a resource nowadays too. Like you go to a Pickwick that's been fished 300 times in a year. I mean, you better be doing a little bit of, digging. And
Exactly.
I mean, because them guys are going to be on the best stuff on the lake. And if you don't know where the community holes are off to start with, you're already behind, So, but
guys like
Oahe doesn't have hardly any like information on the web. That place that's the Wild Wild West out there.
Yeah, it really is.
There ain't nothing, no information out there.
Yeah, you've been out that way?
I went in pre-practice and about the best. I mean, I caught them pretty good, but a lot of the guys there, they don't fish for the bass. I mean, it's all walleye fishing out there. So when they catch bass, I mean, it's just a bonus for them.
Did you find any subtle bump outs?
Possibly one.
Subtle, unique bump outs. Oh my goodness, that's awesome, man. Hey, let's face it, information back in the day, you got some guys on the tour like old Ricky Klun, Clark Wenlett. Yeah. They used to have to go to the library or go to go in their old Bassmasters, bud, and look at, Pickwick 72. Let's see. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, wild. And yes, 100%, like everybody's like what's going on in Oahu or Hawaii. What's going on? It's like a mystery. There's like a mystery about it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I like it.
Yeah. It's gonna be good, man. I mean, like, I'm looking forward to that one. Hey, are you a spiritual guy? Do you consider yourself a spiritual person, Jay?
Yeah, I mean, occasionally, yeah, I do. Okay. I mean, I feel like things are like meant to be and happen for a reason.
Yeah. Like, so, like, I like that you said that. Meant to be and happen for a reason. Yeah. And did you get any feelings when prior to winning that event, like, that may have indicated to you that this was meant to be? Was there any feelings that led that way?
Like before I even started fishing the tournament?
Well, then, or during, or,
you know,
or after. I mean, I can't pinpoint the question.
There was like 2 moments. Like, there was one moment after practice. I like drove across the bridge where we were going to take off. And like just this weird feeling, like idling across the bridge and like idling out to the water that, like, I don't know, something that like told me it was going to be a special week. Wow. And then it was the second day of the tournament when I think it was when I lost. Yeah, I broke off like one close to like 6.5 pounds, and like it hurt. Obviously, it hurt me for like a little bit, but like I don't know, for whatever reason, like it never like affected me like it normally would. Just because I felt like I was going to catch another one, and I was going to catch another one, and just
that's a good feeling.
Yeah, like when really stuff like that's happening, you just feel like, you feel like it's meant to be, pretty much.
Yeah, gotcha. I mean, and you get in those feelings, you know, and they can either go one or direction or the other. They can make you very vulnerable, or they can make you domineering, for lack of a better way. It depends on which way you turn with it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like with that being said, like you know, do you feel that way? Like in bass fishing, do you ever feel vulnerable since you're a rookie? Like,
oh, for sure. 100%.
Tell me how.
I mean, for instance, the last 2 tournaments prior to this one that I didn't. I mean, I had okay finishes and I didn't bomb, but they weren't great. You go to Lake Fork, you practice on the whatever it was, the east end of the lake for 2 days. All your best stuff's on the east end of the lake. It blows 40 miles an hour out of the west. Everything's trash.
Yeah.
You start to feel a little bit vulnerable when Lee Livesey's running around on his juice. And you're like, this ain't good. You know, you're scratching your head. Yeah. I mean, you feel vulnerable all the time. I mean, it's never ending.
It's always there. Never ending. I love that you said that, because you described both spectrums, both sides of the coin, bud. Like this feeling like, okay, I'm crossing the bridge. There's great things happening. There's, you know, for this derb. And then another derb where you were like completely like a varmint with its hair standing up on its neck, you know, in the headlights, you know?
Right.
I mean, dude, it's one extreme to the other, but pretty cool.
Definitely.
Yeah, pretty cool, bud. You so I like that you said, I want to ask you, like, sometimes you said sometimes you feel spiritual and then sometimes you don't. Is that like a condition on if you're catching fish or not? You feel a lot better. You know, I mean, I'm serious. I mean, I'm being serious, you know, like a lot of times we're just uplifted when we're catching a lot of fish. We feel good with the universe. We feel spiritual. Yeah. We feel, you know, catching fish fixes a lot of things for us. Like my buddy
it's
Seth
either
says.
catching them or losing them is when like you feel those things. I would say more losing them, because then it's like, it's just not, I wasn't meant to catch that fish. I mean, it just wasn't meant to come into the boat. If it would have came into the boat, it would have came into the boat, especially if you don't do anything wrong or anything like that.
That acceptance is tough, dude. That acceptance. And you were at peace with it. You were at peace with it on St. Lawrence, and you won the tournament. You're like, oh, dang it, a 5-pounder got away.
Yeah.
Boom. But another one came. Pretty cool, dude. It's pretty cool. I mean, and here's the thing. You, again, as we stated at the beginning of this show, Ray Scott's dream, from the Opens, all right? Coming from the Opens, kicking butt, now rookie year, just doing it. You're a very good example of Ray
Thanks.
Scott's dream. You know what I mean? How you doing back there, Andy? Where's our boys? You getting them together? All right. So I mean, like, tell me about your journey in the Opens to get here. So 21 was your year. That was your year in the Opens, and it was a good year. I mean, you made the elites. Was there a period of it when you kind of were like feeling like you did it?
Yeah, it wasn't until the last day, the last deal, the Grand Lake deal, when I caught my fifth and final fish 3 minutes from the launch, and I didn't even know if I could make it in because I was out of oil on my motor. And
oh, yikes!
Yeah, it was bad. Yeah, but we got that situation figured out. But yeah, it was up until the very last minute of the last Open that I even thought I had a chance, because on the first day I fell quite a bit. I lost a lot of fish, and it was kind of a disaster of a day. And actually, my co-angler actually ended up winning the tournament on Grand. And yeah, that was
really
something. Yeah, something where you just take and sit back, and you're like, well, maybe it's just not my time, because when your co-angler catches all the fish and then you lose all your fish, and then you come in and you dropped, you're in like 60th place or 70th place.
That's horrible, Jay. It's horrible.
But yeah, to come back and then do it and how I did it is hard to put into words.
Holy cow. That's it. Ginge, that's into the Great Wide Open, BASS Opens. That's very clever. You see how you did that? We're talking about the Opens. And you bring us into the brand new segment of Stray Cast Outdoor Cartoon Television, into the Great Wide Opens, with your new co-host, Bass Galaxy. Give it up for the one and only Opens competitor, Brad Leuthner. He's on the bottom right, above the Berkeley sign.
Hello, Galaxy. How's it going? Congrats, Jay.
Thanks, Brad.
Hey, you see the champ up there? You see the champ? You see him?
I do.
And then you see Bass Galaxy. Do you see Charlie Hartley up there? Hello, Charlie.
Congratulations, Jay. Congratulations.
Thanks, Charlie.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, and then Smitty's over there too, champing up. Look at you, Casey. How you doing, bud?
What's up, guys?
Good to see you.
Congrats.
Yeah.
You too. Thank you.
Thank you.
Heck yeah. Now, Brad, what is going on here? Brad, what the heck are you doing on the Straight Cast Show? That's what I want to know.
Well, I'm going to be your co-host, buddy.
Oh,
and we're gonna talk about the Opens. We're going to interview some of the best open anglers across the country, and we're going to also talk about the new rule change that came out last week for the Bassmaster Opens.
I like it. I like it, and there's a lot of news concerning that, and what a great panel you got, bud. You got Jay, the elite champ that was just talking about coming up from the Opens. You got Charlie Hartley, the amazing Charlie Hartley. Always makes me happy every time I see Charlie. You do, Charlie. You really do. I miss you. I'm serious. And then there's Smitty. I never met Smitty before in my life, but I'm intrigued. So, here it is. Hey, Charlie, how's Tracy doing?
She's wonderful.
Yeah.
She told me to say hi to you, and I wish you wouldn't have made the word smallmouth because it was a long show.
Very good, Charlie. The Tin Cup word of the week is smallmouth. You are right. Yes, and if you like and share this live Facebook feed, for real, we're picking a winner at the end, and that is for the line and lure spray and the bite me, get the lead out deal. Excellent. Brad, so what's going on, man? Like, you got Opens, guys. Like mallets, dude. Mallets here. What's happening?
Absolutely. We're gonna break down the dub on Oneida from Casey. I mean, Casey's pretty well.
Congratulations, Case.
Congratulations.
Yes.
Thank you.
Yeah, congrats, bud.
Thank you all.
Heck yeah.
We're gonna break down some of that with Schmitty, and then we're gonna jump into the rule change.
Okay. Well, take it away, Don Pardo.
So my first thing is, I mean, I fished the Opens. I haven't been lucky enough to win one or good enough to win one yet. So what's the difference between winning an Open? And I know you've won a bunch of tournaments up in that region in the country. What's the difference between winning an Open and one of those?
Oh man, a fine line, I guess. I don't know.
Hammering them.
Yeah. I mean, obviously, from a coverage standpoint, it's a huge difference. Nobody's hollering at me when I win a Thursday nighter, but as far as
they holler at Charlie on the Tuesday nighters, don't you kid that?
That's Ohio River. I mean, that's
they follow him. He's got spectators and everything. Charlie Hartley does.
Yeah, Ohio River. You got to get credit where credit's due.
You better believe it.
Yeah.
Yeah, Jay knows.
Yeah, I mean, dude, it's a fine line between success and failure in the Opens, and all you guys sitting here have done it, and you know it. This victory was as close to a disaster as it was to being good, and a couple fish at the right time, a couple, you catch a couple you shouldn't have, you lose a few. It goes either way every time. And last year was an example of the extreme opposite. And Oneida is almost the most extreme example of that, because it's just so finicky and hard to replicate day to day. It's really a crazy fishery at this point.
Wow.
And last year, I had the opposite, where I lost a few fish, had a few things change on me, and I had not a horrible tournament. I think I finished like 40th or so, which was decent, but it could have been a lot better. And this year was just the opposite. Things went right. When it's your time, right, Jay?
Exactly.
Good point, man. Hey, and for real, Casey, you're a derber, bud. I read your file a little bit, and now I don't mean any disrespect at all by this, but you kind of know about straight casts. I kind of shoot it straight here. So you're in Durban what we call a cherry picker a lot of times. You know what I mean? And there ain't nothing wrong with that. I don't think there's any. That might change a little bit, and we'll talk about things like that, or maybe it won't change. But do you consider yourself that, or is that like a bad word that I just said?
No, I'll take that. I don't care.
Okay.
I stay in my hood for the most part. That's a lot to do with work and family commitments and stuff like that, which we'll talk about in a little bit about the Open format, I'd imagine. But yeah, I stick. I fished a couple years now of Bassmaster Open's partial schedule last year, and I'm going to do the full schedule this year. Last year, I just missed the third one with COVID stuff. But prior to that, I fished FLW series, Costa Series stuff. And,
I saw you on the Potomac. You do quite well.
Yep, and stuck with the northern division of that always too. I mean, when they're going to come to your backyard, why would you not jump in that? I mean, I can save the money on travel. I know the ponds a lot better than I know other ponds. I'm not afraid to go other places. I wish I had a lot more time to go other places. Financially, I can go wherever I want, but as far as work and family commitments, I stick around the pond. I mean, it's a good place to fish. And we got tournaments here all the time.
And you know it well, and you can cash some checks right at home. Right. Hey, Charlie, there ain't nothing wrong with cherry picking, is there?
No, not at all. Totally understand. For many people, it's not possible to travel and take that much time off. So it'll be fun when we discuss the rule change, because there's going to be two sides to that. So I totally get it. I fish against some guys here locally that could compete at any level, and they don't desire to be gone that much or travel that much or have that lifestyle. It's not a wonderful lifestyle. compared to going home to your wife every night and your kids.
Yeah, I get it. And Jay, check this out. So, and Brad, let me ask you this too. So, say, especially to Jay. Jay, you're in an Elite Series Derby and you're going to Champlain, let's say, next year. And Denny Brower calls up Steve Bowman. You'll like this one, Charlie. Brower calls up Bowman, and he says, Steve, I want in the Derb. I want in the Derb. Gosh dang it, Denny Brower should be allowed in that Derb. You know what I mean? That's my opinion on cherry picking. You know what I'm saying?
I agree. I'd want him in the tournament because if you won the tournament, you'd love to say, hey, I was fishing against Denny Brower when I won that.
Larry Nixon wants to fish the Harris chain. Damn it, he's in. You know?
No, I had the good fortune of winning the points in the Northern Ever Starts, and a lot of the Elite and FLW guys came up and fished that because it's a good time of the year for them. And you feel really great when you beat those kind of names and not just locals at the pond. Yeah, absolutely.
Heck yeah. Brad, sorry, I'm hijacking your show, Brad.
That's fine, Pat. I got a question for the Oneida champ from a guy like me that got my butt whooped there. What, I mean, with 220 souls trolling around that lake, scouring every rock, every crevice in the lake, what were you keying in on to get away from all the pressure, and what were your tactics? How did you go about getting that dub?
Tactics were normal stuff, right? Finesse,
hey, hold on 1 second. Smitty, 1 second. I'm sorry, I want to interrupt one thing. Hey, Jay, you're a champion. Now, I'm giving you an option here because you're a champion. Now, you can stick around, or you can get the heck out of here and get.
He's hungry. Let that poor boy go.
You want to go get some sweepy boo boos. I think that you are an Elite Series champion. You're at ICAST. You've been running ragging for five dang days.
That's nice of you.
Yeah, why don't you want to go? You want to go get some rest?
I could go for a pee and probably get something to eat.
Go live the dream, buddy. Go live the dream.
Dude, we want to thank you so much, Jay.
I appreciate you having me on.
Dude, it's been a blast. Did you have a good time, Jay? For real. Tell me if you didn't.
I did.
Tell me if you didn't. Are you being honest with me?
I'm being honest.
You promise?
That kid can't lie. Look at him. That kid can't lie.
You're a good dude, man, and congratulations. You have a major accomplishment. You made some history in a short period of time. Bass Galaxy, give it up for Jay. Jay Shakir. Yes, sir.
Thank you.
Yeah, bud.
Smallmouth, Jay. Time for smallmouth.
Yeah, exactly.
Hey, go fish that subtle bump out on Oahe and kick some ass. All right, bud? And go sign some. Sign some babies tomorrow.
Jay.
Thank you. See you guys.
There he is, right there. Okay, I thought that was the thing to do. You know what I mean, guys?
Elvis has left the room. Elvis has left the room.
That's right, Charlie. And now back to you, Casey.
All right, I'm back. Tactic wise, I mean, drop shot, Ned rig, tube, whatever, small finesse jig, all the same. But with that many boats, I mean, that changes that pond. So I just got super specific with what I targeted, and that was all just little irregularities, transitions from rock to sand to grass edges, rock spines, small boulder clusters, whatever, normal fare that everybody looked at. I just, the advantage I had of being a cherry picker was I know the pond really well, right?
Awesome.
And I had that all over the pond. So probably the most important key to practice was watching where people were and where they weren't. And I think a lot of people knew where it goes down on that lake. I mean, we have definitely lost some local advantage on that pond because the opens have been there so many times, and guys know where it goes down, and they were piled up in there where it goes down.
Oh, you saw it, huh?
Oh, yeah. Charlie saw it, Brad saw it, everybody saw it.
Was I there? I hope I was there.
I don't know.
That's outstanding.
So I just kind of bounced in and out of there as I needed to catch a few fish, or when I saw stuff open, I'd bounce in and out, and I would use the rest of the lake And like the community holes have changed. And Charlie, you've been going there for a long time. So there's been community holes on the South Shore. There's been community holes by the islands. There's been community holes where they are now. There's been community holes in the East End, and they're moving. And I started, and I said to my co-angler the first morning, I was only boat in an area that in the past probably would have had 40 or 50 boats on it in certain years. And it's still got fish, but it just doesn't get the press. And I utilize that area like crazy. And I would go in and out of there all tournament long. I would go in and out of where the boats were. And on Saturday, that's where I caught my whole bag, was where one of the areas where there was a ton of boats.
Wow.
But the lake was opened right up on Saturday with only 10 guys. So that was probably one of the most important things, was managing the lake. And I did a podcast the other day with BU, and the carpenter said a cool thing that made a lot of sense is a lake like that, a lake like Champlain, Oneida, St. Lawrence, those places have extra fish, right? Like there's fish everywhere.
Yeah. Like St. Clair. Yeah.
St. Clair, same
northern
thing.
fisheries have schools of fish.
Yep.
You're correct. Yeah.
Yep. So I utilize the extra fish on top of the community fish.
Nice.
That was probably, I'd say that was a big
Wait, Brian the carpenter said that?
The carpenter came
That's
up with that. Yeah,
that's
man.
amazing.
He knows his stuff.
He does. He knows those New York lakes too. Like,
Yeah,
and
he does.
but that's very astute. That shows he's been hanging around some champs. That's
Yeah,
good
man.
stuff. And Peter was at that derb too.
Yep, Pete said the same thing, actually.
Yeah. Wow. That's all right. Brad's a cherry picker too, though, by the way, Casey.
A little bit.
Yeah. Back home in Minnesota over there, he's over by there on all these spots. You know what I mean?
I'll roll around town. I ain't scared. I've been to Gunnersville. I've been to Kentucky Lake.
I like how you said that, Smitty. I'll go around town. Nice.
I've fished against the best cherry pickers in the world for 30 years.
Heck
I
yeah,
get
bud.
it. I totally get it. I have no problem with that. I love it.
I've been all over. I've been to Kentucky Lake, Gunnersville, Ouachita River, Florida. I've been all over. I just stay around home. Financially, it makes a lot more sense. I would love to go all over, but
I think I'm just jealous I don't live up there.
Yeah.
The OG of that is Steve Clapper. Steve Clapper doesn't need to travel to make money. Why would he?
Yep.
Yeah, same kind.
And I'm good friends with him. I don't mean that bad.
No, I get it. There's a certain there's people that, like, here's an example. And correct me if I'm wrong, guys. Charlie, you're probably seeing this too. Like, Ish Monroe is even fishing that circuit out west, right? And it's like he's cashing and making bucks, dude, like off a, let's call a non-primary type deal. So,
We recently, a real good ex-elite buddy of mine, Michael Simonton, and I did well in an open at Lake Erie, and were informed that we weren't invited back the next year. And he said there's nothing in the rules here that said no ex-elite guy. I said there's nothing in the rules that says no good fisherman. And anyway, he said, oh, I had some guys complaining about it. It wasn't me, of course, but
yeah, that's silly too. I mean,
but yeah, I don't get that either. A couple other podcasts that I listened to were discussing that the other day. Like, why wouldn't you want to fish against the best guys on the pond? So when you do win, you feel like you really won. Yep.
yeah, and just like we heard Jay say before you guys come on, I asked him, like, hey, when did you know you were good? When did you know you were ready?
Oh, I loved bragging to my wife when they told me I couldn't come back. That's when you know you have finally, not often am I told not to come back. So to me, that was a big truth.
Charlie did it.
Took me 50 some years, but they finally told me to quit coming.
Yeah, it took you, socked him in the face.
Oh, by the way, smallmouth, if anyone's still watching.
I think some places last night at ICAST told me not to come back. I don't think it was that great. It probably wasn't that
That's
good.
a different kind of not being invited.
Hey, well, speaking of not coming back, guys, I mean, there's gonna be some people not coming back to the opens.
Yep.
Yep.
There's a brand new deal. What's going on, Brad? It affects all three of you gentlemen. And
Well,
good,
from
better,
my
worse.
From my understandings of it, they're going to make you do all 9, and they're going to to qualify for the elites, but they're going to still have, you can do 3 tournaments in a division and still get a classic berth.
Yeah, winning you're in. Yep.
Yep. And I was talking to a guy from Bass today here at ICAST, and I think we'll hear more about it here in the next month or two. So I think there's still more out there. So it'll be interesting when that comes out. But yeah, it's interesting there. You know,
okay. So there's
you play your hand or not.
Yeah, but there's 9 derbs. So
9 derbs. Yep.
And Charlie, how many are they taking? How many?
This year, Pat, you could qualify by just fishing one division by being in the top 3.
Okay.
And they also have an overall where the top 3 of all 9 tournaments can also qualify. So next year they're going to change it to the only way you can qualify to the elites is to fish all 9, and they're going to take the top 9 from the overall.
9 from the overall.
Yeah.
And then
correct.
and then what did Brad say? What did you say, Brad, about the 3?
You can still win and you're in as long as you fish all 3 in that division. You still get to the classic. Both the classics I have qualified for were through the opens. One was a win at the James, and then back when I qualified in 2006 or 8, it was because I won the points. They used to take the top 3 in the points. Back then it was the invitationals. They weren't the opens. They were the invitationals.
Gotcha. So, but I'm still confused. So do you have to enter all 9, or can you just enter 3?
You can enter 3, you can enter 1, but if you want to make it to the elites, you have to enter all 9.
Gotcha.
And if you want to fish the classic, you have to do 3 in the division. So you have to do all of them in the northern, or you'd have to do all in the central or southern and win one of those, and you go to the classic.
Okay, but you got to sign up for all 9.
No, just for 3 for the classic qualification.
Okay, I'm so confused, Casey.
It's not that tough, Pat. This one's not too tough.
This is math. Maybe we need to take a commercial break.
Yeah.
So wait, so I can keep 5 fish or 6? I don't know. What's going on, Charlie?
Weigh them off.
Just don't cast with 6 in the boat. Just don't make a cast.
Okay, so basically, I think everybody knows what's going on except me.
Yep.
Yep, it's very controversial because there's going to be a lot of people that can't fish all 9. I totally get it. No,
and I mean, and it is a big deal, man, because, but here, if I may give an opinion on this, I'm never going to fish an open. I'm not going to sign up for them. I love following the opens, and that's why we have this new segment here. For real. I mean, I love following the opens. I didn't think we were doing it justice, Charlie, Casey, Brad. And now I think we should cover it, and especially, in my opinion, now the opens are going to become bigger than ever. And I know that it does eliminate a lot, but I think it legitimizes a lot too in the progression to looking at bass fishing as a real professional sport.
Yeah, I agree. There's a couple of opinions I have on it. A gentleman or a lady would be much more prepared after fishing 9 derbies across the country for their first year in the elites. Now, Jay is a phenom. His first year in the elites, he's competing. But a lot of guys, their first year in the elites, if you only fished in one division and you were not well traveled, you get run over like by a semi-truck.
Smashed.
You're pretty green.
Yep.
You did well in a region, and all of a sudden they take you to California or to the Great Lakes, and you've never fished anywhere but the Southerns, and it's a tough uphill learning curve real quick. You get thrown into the mix. But I also understand that for a lot of people, they can't fish all 9. Financially, time off work, it's a huge commitment, but daggone it, if you're going to fish the elites, you better be ready for that commitment. You know, it better not be your first year that you ever had to travel the whole country and be able to do that. So you can look at it both ways. There's a lot of people that fish the opens that have no interest in qualifying for the elites. But that has changed over time. A lot of people that are in the opens, that's their goal now. That did not used to be
big time.
You used to have a bunch of 20-somethings, and that was their goal. It used to be you couldn't afford to fish the opens when you were 20. You didn't have a boat that was able to do it. You didn't have the finances or the sponsors. But there's a lot larger majority of the people in the opens that's their life path to qualify for the elites. That's why they're there, a higher percentage than ever. Would you agree, Casey?
Yeah, I think there's majority of the guys that are there, especially doing all 9. Obviously, they want to get to the elites, and most guys even fishing 3 do. However, I'm going to say this loud and clear for the people in the back. I think this new rule sucks.
Okay.
Yeah, go on.
Okay.
I think it sucks. Okay. I think I completely understand why it's in place, and I agree 100% that the best way to prepare for that level is to travel the country in that scenario. However, I don't think it's necessary. Okay. And you guys were busting my chops, and I'm going along with it about sticking around regionally, right? However, if you do look at, and guys who are watching this I'm on here for a Bassmaster tournament, but my resume is much deeper on an FLW side, right? So anyone who looks that up on Bassmaster is going to see a short one. Go to FLW, there's more history there. And if you look at my season almost every year, I do fish whatever our local division is, the Northern Costa Series, Toyota Series, whatever it is now, Bassmaster Northern Opens. However, I made sure that at least once every year I traveled. Okay, some years Gunnersville, some years Kentucky Lake, Costa Championships, Bass Nation Championships, depending on what I qualified for and what the schedules were. I take a vacation almost every year to Florida, visit my brother. We fish for a handful of days. So I think there's a responsibility that goes on the angler to where if you're going to try and get in through one division, you better make sure you're prepared. And I think an important thing to discuss tonight, and I'm glad that I'm on here, because I'm in a scenario that's in between 2 extremes, right? Like, I've heard a lot of podcasts with people interviewing guys who fish all 9, and they're talking about the benefits, and obviously they're somewhat biased because they're fishing all 9. They want more chances, and they deserve a lot of chance because of what they're committing. I get that. But then they're also talking a lot about the other extreme, which is the guy on the internet who's complaining, who's never even been in a Bassmaster Open. He just got his dream ripped away, blah, blah, blah. Now I can't ever do it. If you guys screwed the working man, whatever, right? I'm in between that.
Yeah.
Right? Where
I like it, Case.
Okay, where I'm fishing the opens. I've been doing this for 6 or 7 years now at this level, whether it's FLW or Bassmaster now. And if you look at my resume, I've got some chops. I'm not afraid to come on here and say that, right?
You're a derber, bud.
Right?
I'm derber.
Okay, I'm a derber.
Yeah.
I fish derps, right?
Yeah.
Okay? And I'm not trying to be arrogant whatsoever about
we don't interpret it that way.
Not at all.
Nope.
However, then there's a lot of guys like me, right? In the Northern Division, Alex Wetherill right now is a good example. He's in second in points. He's probably going to make it this year. That guy doesn't fish all 9 or anything like that. He's got restrictions for work and family and whatever, finances. I don't know why, but he only fishes a few. He's a guy I know very well. He's led probably half a dozen opens, okay? And he's second in points. He's a derber, big time derber. AJ Slagona is another guy I know, right? Regional guy at this point. He's fished FLW Tour in the past. He's done everything there is to do from a AAA standpoint, including fishing FLW Tour, including fishing pro, right? So there's these guys in between, like a few of us that I just mentioned, that have some chops, that have some kicks, that can probably hang to a certain extent. I'm not saying we're Polynix. I'm not trying to say that. but we can't run around the country and fish 9. I cannot do it from a work standpoint. Okay. I almost wish it was still 4, even 5. I would love to fish 2 divisions. I could swing that. I would have probably thought about that next year. But what about that in between, right? Like there's guys in our scenario that now are losing our chance, okay, and are probably able to hang with some guys. So there's no talk about that. Most of us are quiet. We're not huge in the industry, don't carry big sponsor portfolios, don't get a lot of media coverage because we don't fish all nine. However, we can fish. We don't get to fish all the time.
You're a prime example. You are.
You put that very well. You say you made your points very well. Very good.
Thank you.
Yeah.
So,
and no doubt, man.
Absolutely.
Is your goal to fish? Is your goal to fish the elites, Casey, or to fish the FLW?
So
there's a question.
Yeah, I mean that's a fair question. So when I fished the Costa Series, I qualified, right? Because back then you could get a Ranger exemption and all these other sponsor exemptions in FLW. I qualified for the FLW tour through points multiple times, and I declined it. Okay.
Right.
Okay.
At one point, I went to my employer and said, I feel like I can do this. I financially think I can get the money from sponsors. Can I make this work with my work schedule? And he said, yeah, sure, go ahead. I decided not to because sponsor-wise, the money wasn't there to fish the FLW tour. So that was ultimately why I did switch to the Bassmaster Opens. And if I was to qualify, I don't think I can make it this year. I think I'm too far out. But if I was to make it this year, I can promise you I would exhaust every opportunity I had to do it, which includes work, includes sponsors, includes family. Okay, I coach my 7-year-old's hockey team. I've talked about it with my wife in the last couple of weeks, right, since this happened. And on that, so I don't know. That's going to depend on the year I make it in the situation I'm in. I can tell you that I want to very, very, very badly.
Well, it has to be the goal. In my opinion, that has to be the goal.
I want to do it to know personally if I could do it. Now I've made preparations that a lot of guys fishing one division don't make. Okay. And I think that that's why we're probably in the scenario we are, is there is somehow some guys that are putting together 3 tournaments of 2 days of fishing each and getting in there earlier than maybe they thought, or whatever. They're a little younger, whatever the scenario is, and those guys are having a little trouble. However, if you look at last year's schedule, there's as many guys struggling out of each single division as there is out of the overalls. And vice versa. There's as many guys succeeding out of an individual division as there is overall. So you can't sit here and say that there's, in my opinion, you can't sit here and say that there's a black and white formula for success.
No.
Oh, there's definitely not. I don't think there's any black and white formula in fishing at all for success. But here, I need to know this. So are the entry fees going to be the same next year? And what will it be per tournament?
We don't know that. They could raise them probably the same, but the answer to every question is money. Understand Bassmasters is a business.
Yes, sir.
And they have people waiting in line to enter the tournaments. What better scenario to make sure all 9 tournaments are full and people don't drop out after doing the first or second one poorly in one division? If I was a businessman and I had people waiting in line to give me their money, this would be a great business move. So that's what it boils down to. They're not thinking about your dream. And I don't mean that bad. I'm a businessman. When I sell someone a sign, I'm not selling them a dream. I'm selling them a sign. They're selling us an entry into a tournament. They have no obligation to do anything other than what we sign on that form. So you can look at it from the business side, and that's usually the answer to the question. So I totally see your point. I totally see the guy's point to fishing all 9. I agree with you. If you are a talented fisherman, it doesn't matter how well-traveled you are. Jay just proved that. You're going to go up there and kick butt. People have more natural-born talent, and I think this might close the door. You're correct. I love your points because you're making me see with wider eyes. This might close the door to someone like a Jay, who at 23 couldn't fish all 9. You're correct.
Yeah, I agree. I think, I look at it and, the fighters and some of those guys that are around now, I mean, could those guys have afforded to go out and fish all 9? And
exactly. That's tough.
Jay is a good example, right? Like he made it through all three. He's through just one. He's got chops. He just proved that. So
what's the ratio? Do we know the ratio like of niners to threeers?
Well, we've only had niners for 1 year.
Oh yeah, duh. So
the ratio is that the rookies have a tough road, whether they fished all nine or all three. And it's only because they are being thrown from college football to pro football. Everyone at the elites was a Charlie Hartley, dreamed of it from the first day they were born, fished every tournament they could. When you get to that level, it has been skimmed down to the very talented. You're fishing against a different caliber of fishermen, no doubt about it.
I agree. I think, like, we were talking about how I stick around home, and for me, financially, right? Like, and Pat, yeah, I would love to fish the elites, and if I qualified, I would I would exhaust every opportunity I had, right? I can't quit my job, but I can tell you that I could do everything I could to make it. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So for me, though, financially, I have been saving my money through fishing. Okay. I've been saving sponsor money that I've had over the years. I've started a side business. I've made other connections at my professional job to look down the road and say, if I make it, make sure you're set up to go.
Yep.
Okay. Why should a prerequisite for making the Elite Series be that you have to wear yourself out financially, mentally, family-wise, sleep in a tent, sleep in your truck, right? Quit your job. Why is that a prerequisite for fishing the Elite Series?
Because only 100 people in the world get to do it.
Yeah, and it's kind of like
that question.
Yeah, Charlie, it is. It's 100 exclusive spots, but it's kind of like minor league baseball too, isn't it? I mean, it's like,
yeah.
I
mean,
mean,
pro in minor leagues.
Yeah, it's a different recruiting system. Obviously, but Casey, back to it. Let's figure this out though. Okay, so there's 9 events. What's an entry fee for a derb? What's an entry?
$1,800.
$1,800. Okay, and then you said this is the first with 9, but there was other divisions, like it was. Okay, so you're talking about the 9s,
but between fishing 3 and 9. So 3 at 1,500 or 9 at 1,500.
I get it there, Charlie. But what I was maybe didn't understand is that what I was trying to figure out is there was people that fished more than only 3 opens prior to a year ago. Like you're one of them, Charlie. I mean, you were fishing.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, last year was the first year we had an overall standings for all 9 in an Angler of the Year setting. Prior to that, it was either 3 individual divisions or 2 individual divisions.
Right. Okay. Now we're on the same page. I'm with you. Okay. Yep. Yeah, and I mean, so basically now at, what did you say, 18 or 1,500?
It's 18.
1,800 for 9 derbs. So, I mean, that's a few rubles.
Pat, for what it's worth, and Casey will agree, the entry fee is one of the smallest costs of the week. I mean, I wish it only cost $1,800 to fish a Bassmasters Open.
What's a total expenses? Brad, when you're at an Open, Brad, what are you throwing?
Dude, figure you got to have a good boat. Figure room and board. Think gas. Think many pipes. It's $1,800's nothing.
Charlie got.
You can at least double it for me. I mean, I'm traveling a long ways. I mean, the closest Open I go to is 17 hours away. So
yikes.
I would say if you're fishing like if you're in my scenario and you got a regional circuit that's got a couple tournaments in your state, you're looking at $7,500. If you're traveling to an out-of-state one, you're all of 10 grand.
I mean, if you want to stay in the Super 8 or you want to stay in the Hampton, you can sleep in your truck. You can eat bologna sandwiches, or you can go have a nice dinner. It's an expensive week away from home. It is.
Mm-hmm.
So if a angler wants to fish all 9 tournaments, guys, in your opinion, what do they need to get in sponsorship money to compete? What's the check? What's the check need to be written for? How much money?
Including losing your job or no?
Yeah, sure. Yeah, throw it in.
Not just your expenses, because you're correct.
Yeah, throw those extra
You're
six
gonna lose your
figures in
job.
case.
Right.
Yeah. No, I mean, but let's just be real. What is it? What's the check?
You want to break even or to make a living?
No, let's say that so now an angler needs to maybe seek some sponsorships, right, Casey? Right, Brad? Right, Charlie? You got to go out and hustle more now. Charlie said they're taking 100 guys. Creme de la creme. That's it. It sucks. Or it's great. We don't know. You know what I mean? I don't fish the opens. I don't know. But here's the thing. Casey don't like it. Charlie's on the fence. Brad's loving it. Brad just loves bass fishing right now. You know what I mean?
I'm going to tell you guys a little story about my experience with the opens.
Please do.
So I started fishing them last year. I did one division, got lucky, got fortunate, I literally had very little sponsor dollars last year, pretty much off, spent my own money, got lucky, made a top 10, got a live camera in my boat all day. And, things start happening, right? I mean, look at it, I'm on Stray Cast. So
don't take that with the thing.
My point is, even the way the new rule is, you can still go do a division. You can still get that, you can still get that carrot out there and maybe build yourself up. So this year I'm only doing 2 divisions. I'm kind of kicking myself for not doing all of them, but I'm kind of like dunking my feet in a little bit more and more each year. And I think for me doing 9, I think it just more well balanced. I got buddies that fish all over the country, so I got their experience, but I've never fished in Florida until this year. I've never fished Tennessee until this year. So it was a little bit of a curve. But I think another thing we're overlooking is what I noticed after having some success, the full-time job of sponsors. I don't think 90% of people that fish the opens understand what it takes to get good sponsors that can support you to do that. And I think that's another thing Bass is looking for. Can you support yourself for the 2 or 3 years or however long you're going to be in the elites? They don't want you to go home. So I think that's another big point. I think doing all 9, you're creating a better resume. You're getting better sponsors, and that's a big part of our job.
Yep. It's hard to make an income bass fishing, and I'm telling you that from experience. Thank God I have a business. A business feeds you an income. Bass fishing may cover your expenses on a good year, but you're not putting any money in an IRA. You're not paying your mortgage down. You're living the lifestyle you dreamed of, but financial security is a lot easier with a real job. I think we all know that.
Yes.
Casey definitely knows that because he's smart enough to make the decision he has a few times. It is very difficult to make a living bass fishing unless you are super, super talented. Yes, you can be great with sponsors, but you still have to have chops, as Casey puts it. And, KVD isn't just lucky. He is a very talented fisherman, and some people are very, very talented at it. And when you go compete against the very, very talented, it is hard to turn a profit. I had years where I won a whole bunch of money bass fishing, but I can't tell you I made a bunch to put in the bank at the end of that year.
Yeah, bassing ain't easy. What's the number?
Bassing ain't easy.
What's the number? Let's say you guys got to go 9 derbs. What's the number of the check? How much is that check written out?
If you want to feed
Casey
your
Smith
family, if you want to feed your family while you're gone, it's over $100,000 because it's going to cost you $50,000 to do it, and you're going to need $50,000 to feed your family.
So you think, Charlie Hartley, that you would need a check from sponsors? Casey, if he wanted to do all 9,
to not lose your income, yes. If you want to go sleep in your truck and have your family fend for themselves, and your wife has a job, it's much smaller. Much smaller.
Okay. Yeah. What are you thinking, Casey?
I would say, I'll throw it out there. I'm not afraid. I would say 40
I like that
grand.
about you.
I would say 40 grand. I've never done it. Other people can speak better to it than me, but I've done a lot of math. I've fished, in regional, local divisions. I've traveled plenty. I would say if you want to cover your costs, 40 grand.
Yeah,
is the
I
number.
agree.
Okay.
But if you want to feed your family while you're out there covering your costs,
Yeah, and
you need
that's
another 40 grand.
That's me keeping my job at my regular salary to pay my house, pay my son's hockey, pay my boat. That doesn't doesn't include my boat and my truck payment. That's hotels, lodging, food, fuel, tackle, entry fees.
You've already got the boat, the electronics, and all that, so you don't. Have, yeah, I agree with you. That was probably break even. 40 grand's break even. You make a couple checks, you win one. Hey, you made a little profit, 10 grand. But you can make more than that at home working. You can make more than 10 grand a year at home working.
It's so. Let's say it. It's an elitist sport.
No. Jay just won 100 grand and at 23. That's more than he's going to make working at McDonald's at 23. So
well, that's an elitist sport. I mean, let's say that. My point is, my point is, Charlie, if it's going to cost you $40K to break even and $100K to fish 9 thurbs, it's an elitist sport.
Not if you're single, no kids, and are a professional. You have that. You have that kind of money.
Okay, so Casey goes to his employer. Brad, you go to your employer because you still have a regular job too, Brad. And
I do until January.
Oh. Okay, well he's got it figured out, Casey. So Casey goes to his employer and he says, "Hey, I got a check here, bud, for $100K, and I got a chance to play in the NFL. I got a chance to play in the National Football League."
Yep.
What's an employer say? Is it because bass fishing's not a real sport too? Is that part of this? I mean, not to me. I don't think that. I don't think that. But like a lot of employers are going to be like, "What?
Mm-hmm.
Huh?" And maybe that's why they don't give a shot. Take the money out of the equation. I mean, the lost money that you would say. Is that even a thing, Casey?
Yeah, I mean, my employer came to me Monday after a night and asked if I was turning my papers in, but he don't know.
He's a good guy.
I guess he didn't know I only won 52 grand. I can't live off that too long. So. I mean, I've had these conversations with my employer. The last time I did it was 2019. I had a great year on the FLW Costa Series. I qualified for the tour. Bill Taylor gave me a call and asked if I wanted to fish.
Bill.
And I kind of did. So I went to my employer and I said, listen, I want to do this. I think the FLW tour that following year was 6 tournaments, and it was only from like January to June. So it was pretty bearable. I'm in the construction industry, so my guys start working hard in probably May. So to be done in June was kind of bearable. And I said, "Hey, I think I can still do my job very well for you. And while I'm on the road, I can because we have a huge territory at the company I work for. We travel from New York all the way to Florida, Alabama, all over the place." I said, "While I'm on the road, I'll take customers out fishing. I'll visit people, whatever, blah, blah, blah." And he liked that idea, and he was going to let me do it. And he was also going to pay my entry fees, okay, on top of my salary.
Wow.
Okay.
That's a guy. That's a hell of a boss.
I got a good boss. Yeah. So
you earned that, though. You must have earned that, Casey. You must have earned that.
I've worked there a long time, right? Yeah. I'm 37. I've worked there since I was.
You must be a valuable employee to have that opportunity. Yes.
And those are the things too that I'm talking about. If you're going to try and knock it out in one division of the opens, you've got a responsibility to make those I don't know what the word I'm looking for is, but make those connections, opportunities before you ever make it, right? You can't just go out there on a credit card, fish 3 opens, never leave out of your territory, and then expect to succeed on the Elite Series. And that's not what I'm asking for. I'm saying that I'm in a group of people that's very small, but also different than a lot of people.
Yeah.
Right. So I chose not to go that year because I sensed and this is not a knock on FLW back in the day, because it was a good place to fish, but the FLW tour didn't have the brightest light at the end of the tunnel. Okay. And I knew that ultimately, if I wanted to do that and take the risks I was going to take, travel away from my family, that I wanted to do that on the Elite Series stage rather. So that's why I declined, and reaching out to some industry sponsors, some endemic sponsors. I knew that they felt the same about FLW. And also at that time, MLF was buying FLW. I had some serious concerns about how that was going to go on, and know that FLW tour was going to turn into what the pro circuit is now, where it's not the premier, it's good. I mean, there's good guys. I'm not knocking those guys, but it's not the BPT or the Elite Series. I don't think anyone can dispute that. So I declined it. And if I qualified, I'm 15th in points right now. I'm 50 points back. I don't think I can get in. I'm going to try. And if I do, I'm going to exhaust the same opportunities I exhausted last time to do it. And I don't feel that with the resume and experience I have, I'm too far out of being able to compete along with the next guy, right? And there's a lot of great guys running around the country that are fishing all 9, and I wish I could do it. I'll say that flat out. I wish I could do it. And with 52 grand in my pocket from Oneida, I'm going to try and do it. Yeah. But I don't feel like I should be forced to have to do that.
I hear you.
In order to make it.
What's the solution? I mean, nobody's going to ever be happy.
That is the biggest fact of the night.
I mean, nobody's ever going to be happy with it. Here's a perfect example of a working man like Casey, who this is directly affecting. There's a lot of smoke blowers out there that'll never fish an open, that are doing a lot of yappity yapping. But
Casey was a perfect example to have here tonight. Perfect, buddy. You did a great job tonight explaining the position you're in. What a unique position. Yeah, wonderful.
Thank you.
Yeah,
thanks, Charlie.
And it's like, so there's always both sides of the coin. Is it, Charlie, is it a progressive decision for the positive then? Is it a step closer to the ultimate goal of legitimizing the sport to the masses?
We live in very interesting times, I always like saying, and our sport is very young and it's still changing and growing. And is it a sport? Is it I don't mean that bad. I'm the greatest fan of fishing in the world, but it's not a professional sport like the NFL. It doesn't generate income like professional sports. So we still have to put our incomes at risk to participate.
But the money's all over the place. That's because the money, you talked about money, Charlie. The money's all over the place. Casey, you know that. You're talking about fishing FLW and fishing the Opens and fishing the Elites. And there's money everywhere.
We're still the major part of our payout is our entry fee.
Yeah,
professional sports don't do that.
No.
So we're born in a professional sport. So it's not, our dream doesn't have to come true because we're not a money generating sport.
It doesn't have to be that way. I don't think it has to be.
No, I don't want it to be that way. I'm not trying to be negative or cynical.
I know you're not.
I dream big.
And I know you're not. And I sympathize with Casey. And I sympathize with guys like Casey out there. And I also sympathize
I want Casey to take his shot, man.
Hell yeah. Like, that would be so beautiful.
Go fish the Elites and win one your first year.
The mighty Casey at bat.
Just like Jay did. I believe in the dream more than anyone you'll ever meet.
Yeah, it's really cool. But here's the thing, like, maybe that is the step Maybe it's like, maybe that's meant to eliminate people. Maybe it's a cull, bud. I don't know.
That was my first reaction. My first reaction was it should take extreme sacrifice to make the elites. You should want to. And my first reaction was this will certainly be the first cut. But I certainly see you've opened my eyes to this. Maybe this shouldn't be the first cut.
Yeah. So
on it, if you are really good at it, you're going to sleep in a tent, eat bologna sandwiches, and beg money to go do it. I mean, that's how bass fishing's always been. It's never been a right that you should make money at it because you love it or you're really good at it.
It's always been tough, bud.
Yeah, I'm pretty thankful that the timing of winning and getting some of this coverage, like you guys asking me to come on, is very fortunate for me because I can speak for a small group of guys that's out there that this probably isn't going to work for, but also can hang a little bit. And
I have friends that it's going to affect, Casey. It's going to.
I don't feel like if we want to grow this sport and make it all this hoopla that we say we want to make it, then the prerequisite to being a pro should be eating bologna and Spam and sleeping in your truck. It shouldn't be that. Why? I've made sacrifices as well of starting a side business. Okay, I have a side business fully established that's a spur off of my regular job that my employer has allowed me to start. That if I got on the Elite Series tomorrow, I could quit my job and in my time in between tournaments, run that side business to make up for whatever I wasn't either winning or getting financially from sponsors. So I've made sacrifices. I work my balls off. I can say that on here, right?
Of course.
I work my balls off.
You can say that on here.
Yep.
My mom's making us tater tots downstairs. She don't give a shit, Casey.
Mom, meatloaf.
Yes, you can say that here.
Right? So I worked my balls off, my effing balls off. In fact, I would love to say the role Matt Robertson would say it on here probably. Right? So I worked my balls off. I've skipped tournaments. I've had seasons where I couldn't fish opens or coastas. Yeah. I've missed family functions, just like you do for fishing, to establish a fully licensed, insured LLC on the side to make sure that if I ever made it, I would be financially at less risk. Okay. And that's what I was saying earlier is I've established myself to be much more financially secure that if I make it, I don't have to credit card $150,000 season on the Elite Series.
You're like a unicorn, though. You're almost like a unicorn.
Yeah, and I recognize that.
Yeah.
We are so passionate about this that we are willing to put ourselves in financial. He's willing to do all this because the dream, the passion is that real.
Dude, here's the deal.
I mean, they love it. We love it.
Yeah, you're wild about it.
My business at risk. I've put my marriage at risk. We all have. I mean, anyone that has dedicated their life to this, we've made the sacrifices. But that doesn't give you the right to make an income fishing. But I totally get it, man. I love it, and I hope you get a shot. I hope I get a shot again. You asked, is the goal to qualify for the elites? Heck, if I get requalified, I'm not sure I would go fish them again. I am not sure, but my ego wants to be invited.
You better go, Charlie. You better be there.
Wants to get invited again so badly, but
we're going to be so mad at you.
I'm telling you, running my business and being at the elites, I wasn't doing anything good. You're trying to juggle all these balls at once, and when you were 20 or 30, I could do that. I didn't have to sleep. But at this age, to try to run a business, fish the elites, and think I'm dedicating my mind and to any of them thoroughly it's tough. You understand. You have to work and go to the tournaments, and you have to try to focus on the tournament and forget about all the messages that are building up during the day or the emails. But you're willing to make that sacrifice because we are proper bassmen.
That's it, sir.
Bassmen.
What's the answer? What's the answer, guys?
I think
the answer is fishing's a passion, not a job, except for the very, very, very good. I mean, very good.
I think a good compromise is, and I didn't think this at the time, but where we were at a few years ago, and I didn't fish them at the time. I was doing other stuff, but 2 divisions of 4. Just go back to it, right? And that was covering the spectrum from north to south and giving you a lot more variety of fisheries, right? Like I think the last year of the Easterns was like Champlain, Douglas, Norman, and somewhere in Florida, maybe, right? Like that's 4 different fisheries. That's 4 weeks off work plus travel. Okay. For me to go to Florida from New York, I'm traveling 2 days either side. So if I'm practicing, which practice is the next thing I would like to bring up. Okay. But if I'm practicing.
Oh, yeah. Let's go there.
I'm practicing.
This is the panel. I guess this is the panel for
We're
this.
doing a marathon show tonight, Pat.
You guys take it. You guys take it.
Hey, smallmouth was said a lot tonight, so I'm on the horse.
Do you guys care? Since I'm just the co-host of this, can I go to the bathroom real quick?
No.
Yeah, I'm not far behind you.
Yeah, Casey will carry the show on while you're gone. You go ahead.
I'll be right back.
All right. So while Pat's gone, I'll co-host. Brad, you're fired. I'm hosting now.
Oh, Casey, go.
I'm going
All
to
right.
the bathroom too.
All right. So 2 divisions of 4, right? If I'm traveling to Florida, Charlie, from where I live or where you live, that's 2 days of travel either side. That's an extra 4 days. So if I want to practice Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, which for the Opens is not very much practice compared to a lot of guys.
You got to leave on Friday. Yeah, I know.
Yep. Then you got to leave on Friday, and you got to get a couple days on the extra days of vacation on the front and back. Now you're taking almost 2 weeks.
You're worn out from the drive. You're worn out from the drive. I know.
I would, however, be much more willing to do that. And I agree that does prove you're better on a much larger variety of fisheries. There's no denying that. I don't disagree with that.
I think it goes back to money. If I
100%.
had people waiting in line for signs and I said, you have to buy 9 signs or you don't get one. You have to buy 9 signs. And they'll still line up to buy 9 signs at a time. That's the reason the rule's there. And I hate to say that. I
agree.
Bad.
I agree 100%. We're discussing factors that were never brought up in the boardroom when this was decided.
Yeah.
Is majority of what we're talking about tonight was not even a factor. The factor was money and business.
Yeah.
And I recognize that.
Which doesn't make them bad people. Does not make them bad people. They can't lose money either. They've got to make money running Bassmasters, which is not as easy as everyone thinks. We think as paying the entry fees, they're making millions up there. No, it's like any other business. You take millions in, you spend millions out. I mean, it's an expensive proposition to be Bassmasters.
Yep, and we have the right, if we don't like that they are trying to make money off of us, don't show up.
Yeah, there's no one holding a gun to our head that says you have to pay these entry fees.
Well, there's more to come too, right? Brad, you talked to some people at Bass today. Maybe there's something else we don't even know about.
Yeah, I think we're going to find out things we don't even know about for sure in the next little bit. And yeah, it should be, who knows if it's going to be higher entry fees, maybe better payouts. You just don't know at this point. But I don't know. I mean, to me, bass, I mean, I've seen it in my life. I mean, I got good friends that fish the elites, and bass gave them that opportunity to make a good living doing something they love. And you got to respect that also. Like that is, that's their way of doing it. And, I'm all in too. I mean, I don't ever want to think about quitting tournament bass fishing.
Yeah. So, I mean, and now there's the 9. Casey, if you're in the 9, right? Let's say you're in the 9, competing in the 9. Charlie's in the 9. Brad's in the 9. Does that now make it easier for you to procure sponsorship dollars, maybe? Does that legitimize the Opens to more of an extent? Not that they're not legitimate?
No. Yes and no. Yes and no. I mean, if you're fishing the Opens and you're doing well in one division, you probably have as much pull with your sponsors as if you fished all 9 and only did well in your division. No, it doesn't mean you can go to your sponsors and say, I'm fishing 9 now. I mean more income.
Yeah.
Well, I mean,
I agree with that 100%.
You got to ask for it, though. Charlie, I disagree. Now you have to, because now That's maybe Bass is forcing that.
It doesn't work that way, Pat. I wish it
Hey,
worked that way. You
don't
ask for a
here's
lot,
what,
but
Charlie.
they tell you what you get.
Charlie, you can agree with me or disagree with me. My uncle always used to tell me you're going to get laid a lot more if you ask than if you don't ask.
So you can ask all day long,
yeah.
But they'll say, this is what we give to this level right here. You can ask all day long. But you're just going to get a kiss on the cheek as long as you're fishing the opens. You're not going to get a French kiss, just a kiss on the cheek.
So now there's
G-rated for you.
No, that's beautiful. There's 9 events. It goes on for a year, and now the opens is the semi-pros. It is the semi-pros now. Okay, say it in a short year. It's the
Triple A league.
It's the deal.
Pro league.
Shouldn't that make getting sponsorship easier, Casey, for a guy like you, for a guy like Brad, for a guy like Charl?
I don't know. I think getting sponsorship is whether you're fishing 3 or 1 or 9. I think that's on the individual. You got to know how to market yourself. You got to know what brings value, right? All those things. I've had sponsors in the past that have paid my entire way, plus I put money in my pocket before I ever won a single check. I don't have that now. I don't carry that. That's a little more of my own decision than anything else. I do have sponsors that as soon as I qualified for the Classic, I reached out to and said, I've got a very large platform to promote you that's different than normal. Can we talk about a different level? And they were all over it.
Yep, a Classic will do that, Casey. A Classic will do that. Those are my 2 Classics were the biggest sponsor building events of my life. Yes.
There was zero hesitation from any of them that I reached out to. And that right there is the big stage. The Elite Series is the big stage. They're not going to jump all over you just because you're on the Elite Series, but I don't know, Pat. I think it's on the individual. I think there's guys out there that are great marketers. I think there's guys out there that stink, and I think there's all different kinds of great marketers. Matt Robertson, Seth Feider are great marketers. They're different than Brandon Polinick, and I'm glad that we have those kind of guys starting to break through because I relate to those guys a lot more. So I'm more like those guys. I swear every other word if I'm not on a podcast and
me too.
The ball with the guys and
that's what I love about our sport. You can be polished or you can be Matt Robertson, and that's the greatest.
Matt's polished. Don't
the American sport. They call baseball the American sport. Bass fishing's the American sport. I mean, when you look across the field of the elite guys, you've got the demographic of America right there. I mean, it's unbelievable.
Guys, we're never going to solve the bass fishing galaxy's problems tonight, no matter what. No matter what. It's like,
wait, one more. Limit the practice period, for God's sakes. Limit the damn practice period.
Go, Casey.
The damn practice period. It's ridiculous.
That Oneida was so beat up before we ever made a cast tournament morning. It was, and that lake's more susceptible. I can't pronounce that word well.
You did good.
To tournament pressure than any other lake because it fishes big, except it fishes really small because it's an oval. There's no hidey holes. That poor lake. But it produced, my gosh, it produced again. Our fisheries are better than they've ever been. It's amazing with that much pressure. 15 pounds was 70th place or something crazy.
Old New York. Casey, you got to take extra time off to practice. That's what you're saying.
Casey wants to practice limited because guys that can go camp there for 2 weeks not only hurt the fishery, but they've got a huge advantage to a working guy that's got to show up there for the official practice. I hear you.
And I don't really care about that advantage. I'm comfortable with that. I've seen that for 6 or 7 years of fishing AAA now, where you're at work and you see guys posting on social media that they're there.
It kills you, doesn't it? It kills
it drives you nuts. You hate it, but it's more jealousy than anything else. I think that's no good.
Yeah, I think it hurts you.
For a strategy, but what it's doing is it like you said, it's beating the living crap out of our fishery before we get there. Let's go there and enjoy ourselves, have a good time, catch some fish, and let's see who the best stick is, right? Let's see who it is on 3, 4, 5 days of practice. That is indeed the best training ground.
I like
for the
that.
Elite Series.
I like that.
Right?
I like that.
Whether you do
All right.
3 tournaments, 9 tournaments, whatever, that is a big factor.
I vote you have Casey on again.
And you. And Brad, you got to have all these.
information.
Yeah, all these guys.
We can do point counterpoint. Charlie
my
and
gosh.
Casey, point counterpoint.
And then I can take the night off. Yeah, I like it.
I don't want your podcast. I don't want your podcast.
Yeah, thanks. It's fine. Take the night off, Charlie. We'll just go fishing. You know what
What's
I mean?
this thing
Let's
pay?
go fishing.
Yeah.
But let's
pay
all
for this.
go
Oh, Ginger
fishing,
said-
man.
yeah,
we can
Ginger's-
discuss this in the boat.
We're
That would
sending
be better.
Charlie your check, Casey. We're sending your
All
check
right.
to Charlie.
What's this thing pay? I'm going to start a podcast and fish the Elite Series.
Oh, you should do both. Yeah. Yeah.
It doesn't pay any better than fast fishing, does it?
No, hey, but I live a simple life. You know, you talk about this. I'm able to make a living bass fishing, Charlie.
That's
I'm a
right.
perfect
He's got
example.
Got an awesome Crestliner boat. He's got 10 cup whiskey.
I'm not a derber. I
He's
just
a
bass
proper
fish.
bass man.
I just talk about it. But my point being is like, I don't have all the expenses in the world. So there's different type of tournament anglers that are now going to be faced with this new decision. It's the same way.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? There's guys that don't have a lot of expenses that can give everything they got and do it. And then there's guys that have 16 kids and there's no way they can do it.
Yeah. But those are life choices. Those are life choices you make young in life. I mean,
and so is being an Elite Series angler or the choice to become one or try to become one.
Yep.
I don't know. It's guys, we're not going to get anywhere else. I mean, it's not.
It sure is fun to talk about.
Oh, it sure is. I'll talk bassing all gosh dang night too. You know what I mean? And Casey, amazing points. Like, I mean, the fact that you hate this and it sucks. I love that you said it. And then you got a guy like Brad who's he's at ICAST right now trying to procure that sponsorship. And then Charlie Hartley. You know what I learned from Charlie Hartley, Casey? You know what I learned from him? Brad,
What's that?
you know what I learned, Bass Galaxy? Well, first off, I learned on Hartwell in the Classic when he was flipping docks by the bushes that if you think your jig's on the bottom, it's still probably not on the bottom. So make sure your jig's on the bottom. I learned that from Charlie. And I learned that skateboarding is super cool no matter what. And
your show with Hackney last week was awesome.
Well, thank you.
Absolutely,
I like when Hackney was talking about feeding bullfrogs to Porosnik. That was my favorite.
Porosnik in a bikini is Java the Hutt.
Yeah,
I mean, I
that's
almost
sexy
swerved
AF.
off the road.
Yes.
Yeah, I almost swerved
Yes,
off the road.
sexy AF. You know what else I learned from Charlie? That you need 100K to fish in the Opens next year. That's what
All
you
9
need.
of the Opens if you don't want to sleep at the Super 8.
So kids at ICAST, Brad Leuthner at ICAST, tomorrow I need you to go ask all the people for $100,000.
See, let me know how that works for you.
Yes.
I'm not going. I'm going out with Matt here in a little bit.
Oh no.
Maybe I'll just ask him for it.
Yeah. Matt, well, no, this is what Matt does. Every time I'm out with Matt, he's like, "Man, you got this? All I got's $100 on me. I got $100 bill." Like, dude, I mean, look, because you saw, like, oh, so they don't take 100? I don't think they'll break that. Come on.
Brad's going to
Kids.
ask for 100 grand, but the next guy's going to do it for 40% off some worms. So.
Hey, that's going to eliminate that. You know damn
The
well
other guy's
it's
going to do the same job for 40% off a
Thank
pack
you
of
for
worms,
having
Brad.
us
Sorry.
on. This was so much fun.
We're
Thank
gonna
you.
do
I'm
this
way
again.
Past my bedtime.
Yeah,
Thank
me too, actually. And Brad's got a party, and we got to figure out how Casey's going to make these elites because I want him to just go out there.
I do too. I want you to do it, Casey.
I want Mercer to say the mighty Casey.
Is this your first classic?
My first classic. Yep, I was
You're
close.
going to
before.
have the time of your life. Treasure every moment.
Can't wait.
Thank you.
Can't
I'm
wait.
looking forward to it.
I call it classic cocaine. Once you've been to one, everything else seems boring.
You're not going to
Everything
like the cocaine, do we?
Greatest thing in the world is a classic. You're going to have a ball. Enjoy it.
I can't wait.
Yeah, and this is Brad Leuthner's Into the Great Wide Opens. You picked a good panel, Brad.
I did.
Good job, Brad.
I learned tonight, Pat. The one thing I learned is I think Casey's too smart to be a bass fisherman.
Yeah, he's got like 5 businesses.
I mean, agree with you. I want to go fishing with Casey just so I can learn things.
Yeah, maybe he was a poor choice after all for this panel, I think.
Well, I think he's a great choice, but I'm like, wow.
I'm a Casey fan now. I'm totally a Casey fan.
I have to think about
that's why I'm super fortunate, really, to have the timing of the platform, right? And I thought a lot about it, and some of the other podcasts I did, it didn't come up, and I chose not to bring it up. And I have not made one social media post. I don't do great on social media as it is, but I did not make one comment, post, nothing. I listened to a lot of podcasts where people talked about it. I got really angry.
Was it pretty candy? Were they kind of candy, in your opinion?
Dude, some of them are
I'm
not
glad
good.
you chose tonight to share it with us. I really
I'm glad you said it sucks. Like, that was just awesome. I loved it. I was
It does. Like,
damn clip of the week right there.
It's just sucks. And I get it. I fully respect the guys doing all 9. Just respect that there's guys out there who are in a little different position. There's not just guys doing all 9, and there's not guys behind the keyboard whining that they lost their dream to fish. The working man has got no dream.
America.
Right? Like America,
live for.
There's an in between that's not being represented. Jeez, and I'm just happy that I had the timing to be on this platform to represent those guys that are maybe in between.
Here's what I got to say. Beautifully. Beautiful. Yes, exactly.
In 2024.
Yes. President of the Bass Opens in the Bass Galaxy.
I don't want that job.
Yeah, that's a tough one. Be assassinated.
I just want to catch hogs, bro. That's all I want to do.
I hear you, but here's the thing that I think, and I'm a Buddy the Elf. I'm a Buddy the Elf kind of guy. You know what I mean? Glasses half full with me. And I don't think that Mr. Scott's dream or the people at Bass will ever I think everyone will be happy.
The dream will live on forever.
I think everyone will end up
agree.
happy.
The American bass fishing dream will live on forever.
Yeah, I think it'll end up okay. And it sucks. It's a major announcement, but again, not a lot of people embrace change. Let's just get real.
What a great country where people can make a living chasing little green fish.
For real. And watch when Casey just comes and kicks everybody's ass, and he's like, yeah, that's going to be pretty cool. And then he's taking everybody's money. And then he's like, yeah, I remember when I was on that stray cast show on there, and
that crazy long-haired called me a cherry picker.
He said I cherry picked, and I didn't do no man never do.
Couldn't believe he called me out like that.
Yeah.
Who do you think he is?
Mandy called Denny Brower a cherry picker.
I'm not. I told you. I don't. You call me that all you want. The check goes in the bank the same, Pat, whether you're at home or somewhere else.
Bud, I am with you, and I knew you're.
They don't care if they're green or they're brown. Nope. Just how much they weigh. Just what they weigh.
It's fun fishing here. It's fun fishing here.
Hey,
I like
you
it.
said to me, Pat, can you do me a favor and let me talk about this?
Absolutely, and you did. Big respect for that.
And I knew that you were a thick-skinned man when you said that. I'm gonna be real. I'm from the south side of Chicago, buddy. You can, yeah.
You're from Chicago?
Yeah, no, don't go telling nobody that I'm from Chicago, boys. Okay, but anyway, no, I could tell. I could tell somebody that gives 0 Fs, and that's you. And
amen.
I like that about you.
I like that too. Yeah.
Charlie Hartley, I freaking love you. I'm serious.
I love you too, Pat.
Thank you. And Brad, I like your new segment. Even though
I do too.
Yeah. I like it. And you're kind of like a SBD, like a silent but deadly co-host. You know what I mean?
I wasn't sure where that was going.
Yeah. And you all got the BDE. You know what I mean? You got that Bass dictated energy. You know what I mean?
Oh, I like that one.
Yeah.
I like that one.
Yeah, you do. So let's just talk in acronyms for another hour, like Swindle.
No.
Like Gerald Swindle.
I have troubles figuring out your acronym.
Hey, Brad, why don't you close this segment?
Yeah,
wait.
Brad, thanks for having us,
wait,
buddy.
hold on a second. I'm going to give the winner of the KVD. I have the KVD line and lure prize. And I also have the winner of the Bite Me Tackle Get the Let Out prize. If you did not like and share this live Facebook post, you're a dummy. Plain and simple. The winner is Bill Laramie. Laramie? Is that it, Ginge? Bill Laramie?
Nailed it.
Bill Laramie. Bill Laramie.
He was my coach last week.
Heck yeah. Bill Laramie. Direct message. Straycast Facebook. And we'll take care of you, Bill Laramie.
Hey,
And
Pat, you're awesome. You have a great podcast, buddy. You do.
Thanks, bud. We got one more prize to give away. Like, I'm going to go, like, so it's pretty cool that sometimes Berkeley sends me stuff to use and, like, check out before it goes to the market. And then there was this
You got
bait.
the slobber knocker.
Well, I got slobber knockers. I get slobber knockers just about every day, Charlie. I'm not going to lie. It keeps my confidence up. It keeps
You're
me
a lucky
feeling good as a man.
You're a lucky man.
Yeah. I mean, I'm a single guy. I get multiple slobber knockers, quite frankly. But I'm gonna be honest. But the thing I need to tell you is Berkeley sometimes throws some baits this way, and there was a bait that they did not release at ICAST, and I have some, and I'm gonna give one to a lucky guy or gal in the Bass Galaxy. And Ginge, who's that? Who is the winner of the Straycast secret Berkeley plug that didn't get released? No, I don't have it. I just had the other one. What the heck is going on here? I mean, for crying out loud.
Hello, Ginger.
Yeah, I did. No, Ginger's. This is way past Ginger's bedtime. You think you're tired, Charlie? Holy shnikey.
I got it if you're ready.
Yeah, Ginger, I'm ready. Who won the secret plug from Berkeley?
Matthew Clark.
Matt Clark. Heck yeah. Matty Clark, you won. It's a plug that's it's pretty cool. You're going to catch fish on it, but don't tell anybody, but tell everybody when you get it. And Brad, thanks again. Charlie,
Thank you.
Thanks again. And Casey, I had a good time. I hope you guys did too.
Absolutely. Thank you
That was
for
great.
letting me get on my soapbox for a minute. Appreciate that.
And if it's okay,
Thanks.
with Brad, like Brad, just so you know, it's okay with me. You know, hold on a minute. Hey, Mom, is it cool if Charlie and Casey come back on again with Brad?
Yeah.
Yes.
She said cool.
Yes.
Yep. Yeah.
Yes.
Yes. So you guys get to come back on. What do you think?
Amen.
I think that's
I'd be
wonderful.
glad to do it.
Yeah. So when we get more updates, Brad, and all that other good stuff, and let's get these dudes on again.
Absolutely. There's some awesome guests. Thanks so much, both of you, for coming on.
Yes, and if you need bail money, don't call me tonight.
We'll be calling you in about 2 hours, Pat. 3 hours.
Oh, I'm sure I'm gonna be getting that one, but I mean, it's like for real. Bail money, I don't want to hear about it. I don't want to hear. Those are your life choices, especially when you're hanging out with Matthew Robertson.
Well, Fighter flew home, so
Because he's
our
smart.
bail money. He's
Yeah,
gone.
no, Fighter wouldn't pay the bail money anyway.
Fighter's a smart man.
No,
he left before they went to jail.
Seth is the smartest bass. He's as smart as Casey. I'm going to be honest. He really is.
I heard he was the only bass fisherman to fly first class to ICAST. So
And our time he had the flow.
Bassing ain't easy. Bassing ain't easy. Hey, when you have Tin Cup Whiskey as a sponsor, you go places. You know what I mean, boys? Smallmouth.
Smallmouth.
Hey, heck, I think this was an amazing show. Thank you so much. Thank you to the fine sponsors that made this possible, especially to those that contributed to our giveaway tonight. That's Berkeley Fishing. That is Line and Lure Conditioner. And, of course, the good old people at Bite Me. Get the lead out with Bite Me Tackle. You've thrown those Bite Me big heads on the tubes, Charlie. I know you. Those Zona heads? Yeah. Oh, you've seen those. Oh, yeah. Yeah. That works on tubes, apparently. Seen those. Hey, Casey, what are you doing tomorrow?
Working, bro.
Yeah, I thought so.
Yeah.
Charlie, what are you doing tomorrow?
Building the highway tomorrow.
And Thursday night jackpot.
Thursday night jackpot. Showing up on the skateboard.
I'm with a ringer.
Showing up on the skateboard. Hey, Brad, what are you doing tomorrow besides nursing a hangover?
Yeah, nursing a hangover, kissing babies, shaking hands, you know.
And asking for $100,000.
I might just write that on my hat and walk around and see if anyone offers it to me.
We'll fish all 9 for $100,000. I need a sign that says that, and you go to every exit at Florida, and you look like a regular Florida person. You'll fit right in.
Not 909 or not 99,000. I need 100.
100,000. Charlie do it for 90K. Who's he kidding?
99 would be close enough. Yes.
Charlie's a lot easier than he appears to be.
Hey, I'll do it for 80.
Especially when he's got a lot of brown liquor. Casey's got it for 80. Hey, you guys prices right the hell out of this. I'm out of here. Pat Renwick, Bass Galaxy, I love you all. Peace. We'll see you next week. Same Bass channel, same Bass time.
Thanks.
Later, boys.
Bye, guys.
Opens live.